In this video, I'll be showing you everything you need to know about modeling a penthouse structurally using ProtaStructure. And when I say everything, I mean everything. From how to model floating columns, cantilever beams, even hinge beams, to understand the concept of primary and secondary beam. I broke down everything step by step. I even explained how to handle penthouse modeling, where some of the columns terminate right at the ground floor, and how to preserve those details correctly in your model. This is not just another tutorial. This is an in-depth guide that reviews real secrets behind accurate modeling in ProtaStructure. So if you ever struggle with modeling complex building or floating columns, trust me, you don't want to skip a second of this video. In the first series of this video, we did the structural framing of this penthouse. We were able to review correct beam, column, and slab positioning that every structural engineer should follow. I'm Miracle Okeke Richard. Welcome to SamGoz Engineering. And in this channel, we help you develop the required skills and enhance your knowledge to elevate your engineering career. So if this is what you want, you can quickly subscribe. This video is all about modeling. Once you click on your ProtaStructure, it will bring you to this interface. So we'll click on new project. Once you click on new project, look at we're having project code. You give your project a name. So since this is a YouTube video, I'll type it YouTube. Then I'll have this YouTube. This is a penthouse. I'll use penthouse. Penthouse. I'll just leave it as YouTube penthouse. You give your project a name. Then after that, you select the code that you want to use. So in this video, we will be using Euro code. Look at, we have BS code and we have Euro code, but we want to use Euro code. I'll click on Euro code, then click on OK. So once we click on OK, we'll allow the ProtaStructure interface to load. So while it's loading, please, if you have not watched the video where we did the structural framing, please go and watch it, because everything that we're going to be doing right now is somehow based on that video. So right now, the ProtaStructure interface have loaded. Then the next thing to do at this point is to import your drawing. That's the structural framing you did in AutoCAD. That's the general arrangement drawing. You import it to this ProtaStructure interface. How do you import it? You come to building setup. At this building setup, you come to external reference drawing. You click on it. Once you click on it, this dialog box will appear. You click on add DSF. This is the reason why we saved our drawing as a DSF file. So look at it. We say, if you can remember, we saved it YouTube Henley. I'll click on it and click on OK and click on open. So right now, look at it, is here. But if you see now, you are not seeing anything at this point. If you want to start seeing anything, you come and click on this active. You check this box. Once you check it, you are not seeing anything. If you want to use your color, you can click on the color. Yeah, if you want to reduce the color intensity, you can reduce the color intensity from this point. But I want to leave it at maximum. Then at this point, next thing that you'll be doing is that you come and import your members. That's your column and your grid line. Your column and your grid line. If you can remember, we created two columns for it. We created two layers in doing structural framing. That's the grid line layer and the column layer. So at this point, look at it. This is member. So we want to import grid line, column. We don't want to import wall. So I'll uncheck this. Then at this point, the grid line, I'll click on it. What do we save our grid line as? If you can remember, we saved it as YouTube grid, and this is it, YouTube grid. So I'll check on it and click on OK. Then I'll come over to this column point, the layer. What do we save our column as? If you can remember, we saved it at YouTube layer. That's YT YouTube. So YouTube column. So I'll click on it, then click on OK. So this is what I'm having right now. Then I'll come over to this point and then click on import. So as I click on import, I'll allow everything to import. So look at it, is important. Yeah, if you see now, I will now click on close. So everything has been imported. So at this point, I'll just come here and click on close. So if you zoom now, everything has been imported. These are column. Look, if you can see, we are having a column of 225 by 225. That's what we use. And look at our axis. But if you are seeing now, our axis, they are not labeled properly. Yeah, they are not labeled properly. Look at it, A1, A11, A12. So I want to label this axis properly, but this can only be done for if you are using ProtaStructure 2022 and above. Yeah, so ProtaStructure 2025 and above. If you are using, let me say 2022, 2021, so if you are using 2024 below, what you just do is that you click on this, you right click on it, you click on properties. Once you click on properties, you come over to this point and name it as 1. Then click on update. Look at it, it will not turn to 1. Escape, it will not turn to 1. But if you're using ProtaStructure 2025 and above, what you just do, come over to review. You click on label members. You click on it. Yes, you click on yes. this dialog box will appear. We want to relabel our axis. I'll come and click on my axis, then I will come and click on this, click on 1 and 2, yeah, and then click on OK. So look at it, everything have been relabeled automatically, but this can only be done if you're using ProtaStructure 2025 and above. Then at this point, the next thing that we'll be doing is that we want to be inserting our beams. That's the next thing. I'll come to my modeling. Once I come to my modeling, I'll click on beam. We have normal beam and wall coupling beam. I'll click on normal beam because that's what we want to insert. Then coming to our normal beam, what is the width of our beam? The width of our beam, we'll be using the width of our block wall, which is 225 by 225. Yeah, so that's what we'll be using. We'll be using the width of our block. So I will use 225, which is the width of my block. Then what is the depth of my beam? What is the depth of my beam? I'll be using the minimum beam depth from the code. The minimum beam depth is 300. That's the minimum. Yes, I'll use the minimum beam depth, but if it fails, once it fails, I'll then come back to once after design, if it fails, and then I'll come and increase the depth. Yeah, if it fails, I'll then come and increase the depth. But if it doesn't fail, that means I'll go with it. So the minimum beam depth is 300. But don't forget, that beam depth will be having a slab on top, and to the depth of our slab is 150. So 300 plus 150 will be giving us 450. That means the depth of the beam that I'll be using here is what? 450. Hope you understand it. Minimum beam depth is 300 plus the depth of your slab, which is 150. So 300 plus 150 will be giving us 450. So at this point, I will then start inserting my beams. I have a beam running here. If you followed us in structural framing, you'll be you'll be conversant with all this I'm doing now. Then this is it. I'll just be inserting my beams. Okay, I'll just drop this one here. I'll still explain something here. I'll still explain something at that point. Then I'll click on this. I'll insert a beam to this point, then a beam will stay run like this. Then this beam now will now come and here. Okay, look at, I want you to understand something. The way this thing is now, look at it. This thing now, this beam now is my primary beam. Why this beam now is my secondary beam? This beam now is primary beam in the sense that it is being connected with, in the sense that it is being held by two columns. Like this beam now is the primary beam because it is being held by this column and this column. So it is the primary beam. Why this beam now is the secondary beam? Because it is resting on a beam. Do you understand? It is resting on a beam. So it is resting on this beam. So in this case, this is my primary beam and this is my secondary beam. This one is not just a secondary beam, it is acting as a point load to this beam because at this point of intersection now, at this point where it is resting on this beam, it is acting at a point load. The load that is carrying is going to transmit it to this beam. So it is acting as a point load to this beam. Don't forget, if you want to learn more about this structural design, and detailing, get my 10 days intensive structural design masterclass. In that course, I explained everything. And so don't forget, that course is very, very cheap because I consider the fact that most of you are students. It is the first link you see in this video description, so you can go and get it. So because I will not really explain everything in this video, but in that course I explained everything you need to know. Yeah, so this is my secondary beam, why this is my primary beam, and this beam now is acting as a point load. Okay, you want to master structural design in just 10 days. I created a course where I carried out the full structural design of this residential building step by step. In this course, I broke down everything you need to know about structural design, starting from the fundamental engineering principle all the way to the practical detailing. Honestly, it is far more in-depth than anything you will find for free on YouTube. And think about it, if my free lessons are already this good, just imagine my paid courses where I poured out all my knowledge and real-life experiences. This 10-day structural design masterclass is all you need to become a confident and competent structural engineer. And the best part is, it is affordable because I consider that most of you are still students. So click the first link in this video description and access the course. Okay, let me also explain another thing here. So if you can see now, if I drop this thing now, this arrow is the arrow of a cantilever. Yeah, this arrow is the arrow of a cantilever. But remember, is it this beam that should be a cantilever or this beam? Which of them will be the cantilever? The one that you make to be the cantilever is the one that has a shorter length. Yes, the one that has a shorter length, make that one a cantilever. Because don't forget, moment is directly proportional to what? Moment is directly proportional to length, because maximum moment of a simply supported beam is WL square over 8. And to that moment is directly proportional to length over length squared. That means the more the length, the more the moment. That means if this beam is longer, that means there will be more moments on it. Why if this beam is shorter, there will be a lesser moment on it. So for that reason, we'll be making the shorter one our cantilever length. We're making the shorter one to be our cantilever. Why this longer one will not be resting on it. Hope you're understanding. Hope you're understanding. But if you want to understand more, don't forget, go and get my course. Go and get my course. Go and get my course. So I'll delete this beam. I'll delete this beam. Then I'll come over, double click on this to bring out this property. I'll double click on it. Wait, sorry, I'll escape. I'll double click on this beam to bring out this property. Then, as we have concluded that this beam now should be the one of my cantilever, yeah, look at it. It is now having this sign. Then this one will not be resting on it. This one will not be resting on it. This one now that is resting on it is is not a cantilever. No, it is not a cantilever because it is resting on this beam. Why this one that has this arrow sign is the one that is the cantilever? Yeah. I hope you understood what I explained. Please get the course because I really went deep in that course to explain a lot of things. I really went deep in that course to explain a lot of things. So I will escape. I'll still keep on inserting my beams. I'll still keep on inserting my beam. Remember, we'll be having a cantilever beam here. We'll be having a cantilever beam here that I explained. I explained it during our structural framing. So if you have not watched our structural framing, please go and watch it. And then I also this beam will now stop here. Yes. Then I'm having a beam from here to here. Yes, I will escape. And then I'm also having a beam from this point to this point. Yes, I will also escape. I'm having a beam from this point to this point. Yes, I will also escape. I'm having a beam from this point to this point. Yes, I will also escape. So okay, I'm also having a beam from this point to this point. Yes, I will also escape. So this is what I'm having right now. I think I've inserted. Okay, look at the final beam. Oh, I did not input a grid line here. I did not input a grid line here. I did not input a grid line here. So let me go back to AutoCAD. I'll go back to AutoCAD. I'll go back to AutoCAD. I want to go back to AutoCAD and insert a grid line. So I not input a grid line here. Yes, so I'll do L, enter. That's to bring out my rent. I'll do L, enter. Then I will escape. I'll do SL. I'll do SL. SL, enter. I'll do H, enter. That's for horizontal. I'll drop it here. Then I'll come and measure the distance between what's the distance between this grid line and this grid line. I'm having it to be 900. 900. Okay, I'll come back to my ProtaStructure. I'll come back to my ProtaStructure. To my ProtaStructure, then I'll offset this grid line by 900. I'll right click on what offset axis, then I'll click on my Control F2, Control F2, then it's going up. That means it will be positive 900 because it's going up. I'll click on enter. So look at that grid line here. I'll escape. Look at that grid line here. This is the grid line. This is the grid line. Yes, this is the grid line. But I would like to make it a hidden grid line because this grid line will not appear at the foundation level. Yes, it will not appear at the foundation level. So I would like to make it a hidden grid line. So I'll click on it. I'll right click on what? Property. I'll click on property. Then I'll turn I'll turn all these things off. I'll turn all these things off and click on hidden axis and then click on what? Update. Yes, it will not appear at the foundation level because there is no wall here. There's no wall here, so it will not appear at the foundation level. So at this point, I'll then come back and double click on one of my beams. Double click on one of my beam. Then I'll now insert a beam at this from here to what? Here. Hope you're understanding everything. So at this point, let's go over to our 3D view to see what we have achieved so far. So I'll click on this, right click on it, then click on 3D physical model. So let's see what we have achieved so far. Let's see what we have achieved so far. So this is what we have achieved so far. This is what we have achieved so far. Then let's continue. Okay, what I would like to explain now is the concept of hinging. The concept of hinging of a beams. Please listen and understand everything. Listen and understand what I want to explain now. Remember, the moment, okay, remember, if we were to draw the bending moment diagram of this beam now, it will go from starting from this point, it will come over here. We're having a sagging moment. It will go up. We're having a hugging moment. It will come down. We're having a sagging moment, and it come and terminate at this point. That means this point is what? Zero. That means what it means that the moment at this point is zero, and the moment at this point is what? Zero. But ProtaStructure will not take the moment at this point to be zero, unless you tell it that the moment at this point is zero. So for that reason, we have to tell ProtaStructure that the moment at this point is zero, and the moment at this point is also zero. So that is why we do hinge our members. Yes, let me tell you one thing now, if you don't hinge your members, remember the aim of every structural engineers is first of all safety. After safety is economy. If you do not hinge your member, ProtaStructure will design it that ProtaStructure will see it that there is a moment acting at this point, and if there is a moment acting at this point, it will design against that moment. That means ProtaStructure will provide a very high reinforcement at this point because it will think that there is a moment at this point and also there is a moment at this point. So to prevent ProtaStructure from having very high moment, to prevent ProtaStructure from inputting like to designing against moment at this point, you have to hinge this member, because if you don't hinge it, you might be having something like 3y16 instead of 2y16, or something like 4y16 instead of 2y16. Yes, because ProtaStructure will see that there is a moment at this point. So for that reason, we are going to hinge our members. Another reason why you should hinge our members, let me tell you another reason. If you can remember, in your university days, we have we have it that the summation of moment at any point is equal to zero. If you can remember, what it means is that the summation of moment at this point is zero. I did not say that the moment here is zero, I said the summation. Also, the summation of moment here is zero, and also the summation of moment here is zero. So what it means that in this case, assuming I'm having 30 here, for example, in this case, we're having two moments. We're having a moment in this direction and also a moment in this direction. That's if you can remember. If you can remember. But if you want to learn more of this, get that 10-day structural design and detailing masterclass. Yeah, because all these things we are well detailed in that course. So don't forget, there is a moment acting at this point, and also there is also a moment acting at this point. Then the summation of moment is zero. That means if this one is positive 30, this one will be negative 30. Then if you sum both of them, it will give you zero. That means the moment at this point is zero. Yeah, there's the rule. The rule is that the moment at all points is equal, sorry, the summation of moment, not the moment, the summation of moment at all point is equal to zero. That means if you sum the moment here and sum the moment here, it will give you zero. So at this point, if you are having 30 here, that means we'll be having negative 30. So if you do 30 plus negative 30, you'll be getting zero. So in this case, the summation of moment is equal to zero. There is only one moment here because there is no beam here. There is no beam here. So there is no moment at this extreme. There is only one moment here. That means the summation of the moment at this side plus the moment at this side will give us zero. Since there is no moment at this side, what it means automatically is that the moment at this point is equal to what? Zero. I hope I've been able to explain that this beam, that there's no moment at this point, because first of all, the summation of moment at all points, summation, I say summation, not moment at all points. I say the summation of a moment at all points is equal to zero. And if you sum the moment here and the moment here, you'll be getting zero. If you sum the moment here and if you sum the moment at this point and the moment at this point, you'll be getting zero. But the moment here, you can assume it to be 30. Why here will be negative 30? If you sum both of them, you'll be getting zero. Why at this point? There is no moment. There is no moment at this point. So that means it's only one moment. Therefore, that one moment will be what? Equal to what? Zero. So with all this, we'll be hinging our members to tell ProtaStructure that there is no moment at this point, and also there's no moment at this point. And also in terms of simply supported beam, this is a simply supported beam. There is no moment at this point, and also there's no also moment at this point. Yes, for continuous beam, let's see. Okay, for continuous beam, there's no moment at this point. There's no moment at this point, but there is a moment at this point. That's why the bending moment diagram will go like this. Sagging moment, you will have a hugging moment at this point, showing that there is a moment at this point. We also have a sagging moment, then it will not terminate at zero. So that now we're going to hinge all our members. But first, before I start hinging all my members, I would like to first of all hinge all the simply supported members. Please listen. So you see how I will do this thing fast, so you don't waste your time on this. So you first of all select all the simply supported beams. So this is a simply supported beam. This is a simply supported beam. Hold your control key and select them. Hold your control key. Also, this is a simply supported beam. This is a simply supported beam. Let's select. Okay, this is not a simply supported beam. This is not a simply supported beam because we're having the cantilever here. And so this is not a simply supported beam. This is not a simply supported beam. And this is not a simply supported beam because we are having a cantilever here. Then let's come over to the vertical. This is not a simply supported beam. 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 This is not also a simply supported beam. Why this is a simply supported beam? This is not a simply supported beam. So right now, let's hinge all our simply supported beam. You right click. Once you right click, you click on this update beam end condition. Once you click on it, you come and click on both ends hinge. That means you want to hinge both ends because they are all simply supported. You want to hinge both ends. So I'll click on this both end hinge. Then you click on apply to the selected beam. So you have hinged all the beam. How will you know that you have hinged it? Look at this red dot. This red dot shows that you have hinged these beams. It shows that you have hinged this beam. So next one, I would like to hinge all my. Okay, if you bring your cursor to this beam now, you see that one end is I and the other end is what? J. So I would like to hinge all my I end that are to be hinged. I would like to hinge all my I end that are to be hinged. Remember, this is a continuous beam, but the moment at this point is what? Zero. So, but first, I want to hinge all my I ends. So look at my cursor. My cursor is on this beam now. This end is I. Why this end is J? So I want to hinge my I end. Why? You know that the moment at this point will be what? Zero, because this is the I end. So I'll select the I end. I want to hinge all the I ends that are zero. So I'll hold my control key. Let me check again. Oh, sorry, this is a simply supported beam and we did not hinge it. Yeah, let me just hinge it immediately. This is a simply supported beam and we did not hinge it. So let me hinge it immediately. So both end hinge and apply to the selected beam. So we have hinged it. So let me continue again. I want to hinge all my IN. I'll hold my control key. So this is a simply supported beam. We are not going to select it again, even though the IN should be hinged. But since we have selected it initially, we are not going to select it again. So this is a simply supported beam. Okay, this is a continuous beam. And two, this is my IN. Yeah, this is my IN. This is my IN. So I'll hold my control key and still select it because here should be what? 0. Then this point to here should be 0. Here should be 0. Yeah, this point should be 0. Yeah, this one again, this point should be 0. Hold your control key and select this point should be 0. Please hold your control. Hey, I had my shift key, not control key. Sorry, I made a mistake. So I'll select this. I should have hold my control key. Hold your control key, not your shift key. Hold your control key and select. So I'll say select this. Yeah, I think we have selected all the horizontal ones. Let's shake again. Let's shake again. Let's shake again. Yes, we have selected all the horizontal one. Then we'll come over to the vertical. So this is the IN. So I'll hold my control key. This is the IN. This is the IN. Look at it. Then also this one, this is the IN. I'll select this one. Why the top are the J ends. So in this case, this is also the IN. This is the IN. I'll select this. And to this is the IN. I'll select this. This is the okay, yeah, this is the IN. I'll select this. Yeah, I'll select this because this is not a cantilever. This is not a cantilever. Look at the cantilever here. This one is the cantilever. Why this is not a cantilever? This one is resting on the cantilever. It is not a cantilever. Yeah, if you want to learn more of this, get my paid course. Yes, get that paid course. I'll advise you to get it. So I'll also select this. This one is not a cantilever. I think we have selected all the INs. Yeah, we have selected all the INs. So I will like click again, I'll come over to this update beam end condition. I'll click on this hinge at left end, that's at the I end. I'll click on apply to all members. Then I'll escape. If you see they have all been hinged. Look at this one, it has been hinged. It has been hinged here. Then the next one is to hinge my J members. Then I want to hinge my J members. So here, this is my J members. This is my J member, it will be 0. I will like to I will not hinge here because there's a cantilever here. There's a cantilever here. Please don't hinge your cantilever because cantilever will definitely have a top moment. It will definitely have a top moment. Yes, if you want to learn more about the top moments, get the paid course. Because it is being explained because the top will be at the tension. Yeah, the top will be at the tension. Why the bottom will be at compression. Why for a normal beam the bottom will be at tension. Why the top will be at compression. They do interchange. For cantilever, the top is at the tension. Don't worry, we'll still get to explain when we get to interactive design. But if you want to know more of this, you can still get the paid course. Then I'll still hold my control key. This is my JN. Then this is this is a simply supported. This is a simply supported. Okay, this is a J, and I'll hold my control key and select it. This is a J, and I'll hold my control key and select it. And then this is a JN, but I will not select here because this is a cantilever. Please don't select a cantilever. Then I'll come over to the vertical members. So this is my JN. I'll select it. This is my JN, and also this is my JN. I'll select it. This is also my JN. I'll select it. Yes, let's shake. Let's shake. Yeah, okay, this is also my J, and I'll select it. Then I'm having that this is my J, and I'll still select it. This is a country, this is a simply supported beam, so I'll not select it. This is my J, and I'll select it. Yeah. Yes, I think we are through. Then I'll right click. Once I right click, I'll go scroll down, go to update the beam end condition, then hinge all my J end, then apply to the selected beam. So I'll escape. So right now we have hinged all our members. So the next step now is to insert our slab. Yeah, that's the next step, to insert our slab. So to insert your slab, you click on this insert slab. So look at it, say load cases must be defined before load assignment. Would you like to define load case now? I'll click on yes. I would like to define my load case. Then I'll just come over to this point and click on my load generator. So if you see, we have vertical load combinations. So leave these things at default. These things are being gotten from the code. Look at it, 1.25, 1.5, all of them are being gotten from the code. Just leave it at default. Then come over to the horizontal. Then come over to the horizontal load combination. Then remember, if for wind load, if the height of your building is above 10 meters, you apply wind load. If the height of your building is above 10 meters, you apply wind load. So our own building, the height is not up to 10 meters, so we are not going to apply a wind load because the height is not up to 10 meters. But if the height of your building is up to 10 meters, you apply wind load. Then if you're not applying anything, just leave everything at default. Then come over and click on OK. So this is my load combination. Then I'll come and click on what? OK. Then this will apply. This will appear. So please, the slab thickness that we'll be using here is what? 150. There's a slab thickness of what? 150. And the slab tap is what? Slab tap what? one because look at it, slab type one because we have four boundary. We have you have four boundary conditions around the four boundary condition. That's this beam, and this beam. Look at it. This sorry, let's go over to type one. This type one, it has four boundary condition. This. Like it has beam surrounding it at all around. So this is the relative level. Please, relative level at zero is when it comes to raft foundation. Yes, the beam raft foundation that we'll be using relative level, or in some special cases that we'll use relative level. Then concrete cover, we'll be using a concrete cover of what 25. Then we'll come over to loadings. Then coming over to loadings, this soft weight has already been calculated by the software. How do you get soft weight? Soft weight is gotten by unit weight of concrete times the depth of your slab. Yeah, so it has been calculated automatically by the software. Then the dead load. Which dead load do you want to use? So dead load comprises of two things, which is first the partition load and second the finishing load. The partition and the what finishing load. But partition load ranges from 0.5 to 1. That's partition load. It ranges from 0.5 to what 1. While finishing load ranges from 1 to 1.5. Yeah, it ranges from 1 to 1.5. But in this case, I would like to select my partition load to be 0.5 and my finishing load to be 1. So if you now do 1 plus 0.5, I'll be having what 1.5. So I like to be using 1.5. So this is what I would like to use as my dead road. Hope you understand. Then the imposed road. This is a residential building. Yeah, this is a residential building. So I'll click on this. Right click on it. Once I right click on it, I'll click on general domestic use. General domestic use because this is a residential building. Then the roof load. This is not a roof slab. This is not a roof slab. So I will not apply any roof. I'll not apply any roof load on it. Snow load. There's no snow on this road on this slab. Snow. This is not exposed to weather. So the snow will not be coming. It won't be coming in contact with any snow. So I will ignore it. Why this rain load? It's not an exposed slab, so it won't be coming in contact with what rain. So I will leave it as default. So I will click here to insert my slab. I will also click here to insert my slab. I'll click here to insert my slab. Click here to insert. Click here. Click here, and then okay. Remember, there's no slab here. Here is a void, but we have a cantilever here. But don't worry, we are still coming to model our cantilever. So at this point, I'll then click on what? I'll click on close. So let's come over to our 3D view to see what we have done so far. So this is what we have achieved so far in 3D view. Yeah, in our modeling. So this is what we have achieved so far. So right now, the next thing that we'll be doing is that I want to insert my story. Yeah, after inserting my story, then I will now come and model this. I will now come and model this cantilevers. Yeah, let's come to ProtaStructure. Let's come to AutoCAD so you see it very well. So look at the architectural plan. After inserting my story, I will then come and model this cantilevers. Yeah, after inserting my story. After inserting my story, I'll come and model these cantilevers. Then I'll come back to my ProtaStructure. Then what we want to do is to insert story. Do you want to master structural design and detailing in just 10 days? I created a course where I carried out the full structural design of this residential building from start to finish. In this 10-day structural design masterclass of this residential building, we carried out the structural framing, modeling, analysis, and design every structural members. We analyze the forces acting on them and design reinforcement to counter those forces. From there, we move into foundation detailing, part-based detailing, column detailing, slab detailing, even staircase detailing. We also section and detail our staircase and slab. And finally, I showed how to print and present your drawing professionally. This course is highly in-depth because I poured out my knowledge about structural design into it. Honestly, it's more in-depth than all the free structural design videos on YouTube. And think about it, if my free lessons here on YouTube are already this good, just imagine my paid courses. This is all you need to become a confident, competent structural engineer. It is an investment you will never regret in this life because remember, the greatest investment with the highest return is the one you make on yourself. And the good thing is this course is highly affordable because I consider the fact that most of you are still students. The link to this course is in this video description. It is the first link you will see. Go and enjoy every bit of the lesson. Do you want to master structural design in 10 days? This course will get you there. In inserting story, I'll come and click on building setup. Once you click on this building setup, you come to story, then click on this story option, then click on insert story. Once you click on insert story, look at this story 1. Yeah, I want to what numbers of story. So I'll click on what 2. Yeah, 2. Yeah, I want to just insert only the second story. I don't want to include the third story. Then insert story height. The The story height, I would like to our story height from the architectural plan is of 3 meters. So I'll still leave this at default. Then look at, you click on generate member from the selected what story. The selected story is this story one that we are currently at, the story one. So I'll click on generate member from the what selected what story. Then I'll click on what okay. So and I say this and this and the previous process will not be undone. I'll just leave it. Click on what yes. So let's allow it to generate our member. So it has generated. Let's come back to 3D view. If you can see now, we now have two stories. Yes. So at this point, so we are not at story two. We are not at story two, but we want to model those cantilevers as story two. We want to model those cantilevers as story two, but our plan is not showing. Our plan is not showing as story two. So what we'll do now for our plan to start showing is that we'll come over to this external reference drawing. That's building setup. Come over to this external reference drawing. Then click on this number of story. I'll come and change this thing to 2 and then click on what okay. Yeah, if you see that our plan is not showing, and we are still in story 2. So right now the reason why I made this is so that I'll be able to model this. So before we can model those cantilevers, before we can model those slab, okay, we can just model the slab at its own. Yeah, because they are the cantilever slab. They can easily be modded. We don't need to insert a new grid line. Yeah, but don't forget we will be inserting beams and columns. Like we are having a column at this point. Let's go over to ProtaStructure. Let's go over to AutoCAD so you understand. Look at our modeling. We have that a column will not be at this extreme, and also a column at this extreme, and also a column at this extreme. Yes. So let's come over to ProtaStructure. Before you be able to insert a column at this extreme, you must have a grid line at this extreme. Before you be able to insert a column at this extreme, there must be a grid line. So for that reason, we'll be inserting our grid lines. Yes, I want to insert my whole grid line, because if I don't have a grid line here, I'll not be able to insert a column here, and also I'll not be able to insert a beam at this point. If I don't have a grid line at this point, I'll not be able to insert a column at this point. So for that reason, I'll be inserting all my grid line. So what I'll just do is that I'll escape. Then I'll click on this. Then I'll click on what? I'll click on offset axis. Once I click on offset axis, I'll just come and place it at this point. Yes, the reason why I brought out this line in AutoCAD is that so I can easily place this thing, because as mean this line was not here. That means I have to come and start offsetting the distance. Yeah, I have to come and start offsetting the distance. But for the fact I brought out this line now, I don't need to offset the distance again. So I'll just place it at this point. Yes, please, if you have not gotten the CAD file of this architectural plan that we are using, please get it so that you practice. If you watch 100 videos without practicing anyone, the person that watches 10 and practice those 10 that he watches will be far better than you. So practice, because practice what makes what perfect. So for that reason, get the CAD file and practice. So I'll escape. Since this is not a major grid line, I'll convert it to a ghost axis. So I'll click on what? Property. I'll click on property. I'll turn off this, and convert it so to a hidden axis. And then click on update. So right now, this is not a hidden axis. If you can see, it's no longer that visible because it is not a hidden axis. Then I'll still copy this. Then click on offset. I'll click on offset axis. Then I'll place it at this point. Look at this point. These are cantilever. These are cantilever point. Yeah, these are cantilever points. So I'll place it at this point. I will still escape again. Like click on what? Property, and then turn off this. Then click on this hidden axis. I'll click on what? Update. Yes, I'll click on update. So if you look at it, it's no longer there. Then I'll click on this one again. Click on offset axis. Then I'll come and place it at this point. Yes, as I place it at this point, I escape. Okay, sorry, I did not place it. I did not get it. I'll click on what? Offset axis. I'll place it at this point. I will escape. Yeah, I'll now double click on it to bring out this property. I'll turn off this. Then click on hidden axis and then click on update. So look at it, it's gone. And then the next one. Okay, the next one. Okay. I want to do for this one. So I'll click on this, right click on it, click on what? Offset axis. Then I'll place a grid line at this point. I'll escape, right click on property. Then I'll turn off this. Then click on hidden axis. I'll then click on what? Update. So look at it. It's not a hidden axis. Then I think our the next one will be this one. Then I'll come and copy this vertical axis. Right click on it, click on offset axis. I'll place it at this point. Yes, I'll escape, right click on property. I want to convert it to a hidden axis because this is not a major axis. I'll click on what? Update. So it's not a hidden axis. So look at it. Look at this, the axis, and this the axis. Yeah, these two are the axis. These two now are the axis. These two now, they are the axis of our cantilever slab. Then I'll escape again. Don't worry, doing our modeling, we will remember all of them. Then at this point, I'll also come and copy this axis. Like click on it. Okay, let me leave this one. Let me leave this one so I'll not get confused. During the time when I want to place my column, I'll come and place this grid line. Yeah, in fact, let me stop it because I might get confused later on. So let me just stop at this point so I'll not get confused. Let me just stop at this point so I'll not get confused. So right now, what we are going to be doing now is that remember some of our columns will terminate. Let's come over to AutoCAD. This okay. Let's do for this side first. This column now will terminate and we'll be having a new column at this extreme. This column will terminate and we'll be having a new column at this extreme. So let's come over to ProtaStructure. Then remember this column will go. This column will go as 32. I'll click on it, right click, and then click on property. Then I'll click on it, right click, then click on delete. I'll delete it because we say that this column will go. Then I'll come and double click on this to bring the artist property. And then I press a column at this point because we say that a new column will start emerging from here. Then I'll come and click on this and select this and then click on update property. So it is now like this. Yeah, so this column will go. This column will go. Then if this column now should go now, remember our beam will now run like this. We will now have a beam from here. Yes, a beam from here. Okay, let's see what we have done in ProtaStructure so you will see. So in 3D view, so this is what we're having now. So this beam now and this beam, they will go. Just follow me. Just follow me. I will escape. I'll click on this beam, hold my shift key again, and still click on this. Okay, sorry, I'll hold my control key, not shift key. Like click on what? Delete. I'll click on delete. I'll click on what? Okay. Then I'll come over to this beam. Okay, no, I don't want to. Let me use a new beam. Where is my modeling? I'll come over to modeling beam. If I pick the properties of this beam now, you remember I've hinged them, so everything will change. So that's why I want to use a new beam. 225 by 450. I'm okay with it. So a new beam will move from this point to this point. Remember, look at it. This is not how it should be. It should be in alignment with this column. So I'll come and click on this. Click on one of these. Let me click on this one first, and then click on update. I'll click on update. So it fits in now. It now fits in. Have you seen it? It now fits in with this column edge and with our grid line. Look, this is our grid line. It now fits in. Then I'll come over again and drop this one. Remember, the next point is this point. I'll drop it at this point. Look at it. It's still fitting. Then I'll still drop it at this point. Yeah, I'll still drop it at this point. Remember, this shorter one should be the cantilever one because it's the shorter one. Then this one now. Then this one now, I'll double click on it. Once I double click on it, I'll come and click on this. I'll click on this property. And then click on update. Yeah, it now fits in. I want it to be in alignment with our axis because these are axis. These are hidden axis. So I want it to be in alignment. But if you can see, they are trying to hinge everything. They are trying to hinge all the beams. So I'll select this. I'll hold my control key. I'll escape. I'll select this. Hold my control key. Select this, and also select this. Then I click on. Okay, I don't want it. I don't want them to hinge all of them. Okay. Let me say unhinge. Let it unhinge everything. Update beam end condition. No hinge for now. Yeah. So I want to hinge it now. So in this case, this is a simply supported beam. So it will be hinged at this point and also hinged at this point. And to this is a simply supported beam. It will be hinged at this. It will be hinged at this point and also at this what point. It will be hinged at both points. So I'll click on this and then hold my control key, click on this, then like click on what? Update beam end condition, both end hinge, apply to the selected beam. So it's okay now. This is a cantilever. There should be no hinge here. This is a cantilever. So I'll click on it. I'll right click again, click on the update beam end condition, I'll click on no hinge. I'll click on apply to the selected beam. So right now there is no hinge. This hinge now is for this beam. This hinge now is for this beam. Yeah. So I'm okay with this. So I've gotten. Let's come over to our 3D view. So this is what we're having right now. Then this column now will now rest on that cantilever slab. We'll still model it. We are still going to model it. Just follow me. So we have done this part. Then let's come over to this part. Let's come over to our architectural plan. So we are through. We have done this. We have removed this column and we have placed this column and we have inputted this beam Then coming over to this cantilever slab, this beam, okay, this column, and this column, they are going, these three columns. Then I'll come over to my ProtaStructure. I'm having that this column, I'll hold my control key. this column and then this column, three of them they are going. So I'll right click, then I'll click on what? Delete. I'll click on delete. Okay, they are going. Then the next part is that we'll be introducing, okay, we'll be introducing a beam. But first, let me insert this grid line. Okay, look at it, it stopped here. But first, let me make this thing a grid line, because we will not be able to insert any beam or column at this point if you are not having a grid line at this point. If you are not having a grid line at this point. So, but first, remember, this grid line now is after grid line 8. It is not before, it is after grid line 8. So we'll not get confused. I'll right click, then click on what? Offset axis. I'll place it at this point. Remember, it is after grid line 8. Then I'll right click again, click on what? Properties. Click on properties. I'll turn everything off and then convert it to a hidden axis, because it is not a major axis. So it is after grid line 8. Then okay, let's go and check the points of our new column. Let's go and check the points where we're having a new column. So we're having a new column at this extreme, then above this column, above in alignment with this column, and then at this point. But first, let me insert this and then insert this first. So and to this now, this column now is grid line what? This column now is the grid line after our staircase. Then I'll come over to my ProtaStructure, then I will double click on one of the columns. We're having a column at this point. Yeah, this is the point. Then I'll come and click on this to change the properties of this column, because I want it to fit. I want it to be in alignment with this. I want it to be in alignment with this grid line. So which of them will make it to be in alignment with this grid line? So this is the property, and then click on what? Update. So now it's not in alignment with the grid line. Then I have another column at this point again. I have another column at this point. Yeah. So I want it to be at the center. I want to position this column correctly now. I'll come over again. I'll select this property. Yeah, this is the perfect property, and click on what? Update. So it's not correct. Then the next one, where else are we having our grid line? Let's go and check the grid line. Let's go and check where else are we having our next column. Then I'll come over to my AutoCAD. My next column, okay, sorry, my next column is being placed at this point. Let's check whether we're having any grid line at that point. So what I'll do now to check whether I'm having any grid line at that point, I'll just copy this whole grid line. I want to check whether I'm having any grid line at that point. I'll do CO, enter. I'll do CO, enter. Then I'll copy from this staircase position. Remember, staircase will forever remain the same. So I'll place it here. So okay, you're having a grid line at that position. That's the grid line. The grid line after this. The grid line after this offset. The grid line. Yeah, the next grid line. That's the place we'll be placing our column. Then I'll come over to this. I'll come over to my ProtaStructure. That means this is the grid line. That means I'll be having a column at this point. This is the point. Yeah, this is that grid line. Look at it. Remember, we said it's after grid line 8. So we'll be having a column at this point. Yes, but this column now is not in alignment. Let's position it very well. So we'll come over to this one. Which one will be the perfect position? Is this one. This is the perfect position. So I'll click on it and then click on what? Update. Yes, so this is the perfect position. These are grid line and these are grid line. So it's at the center of both of them. So this is perfect position. So we have inserted the three columns. So the three columns that we need. That means we'll also be inserting a new grid lines. So a new beam. So I'll hold my control key, select all these beams, because I don't need them again. I don't need them at this story too. I don't need them, and also I don't need them. Then I'll right click. Once I right click, I'll click on what? Delete, and then click on what? Remember, make sure it's only beam that is selected. I'll click on what? Okay. So everything here has been deleted. Now is to insert a new beam. So I would not like to double click on this, because if I double click on this, it will bring out this property. Then I'll come and click on this beam. Once I click on this beam, I'll click on normal beam. Once I click on normal beam, 400 by 450. Then I'll come over to this point. I'll pick from here, a beam from here to here. I'm having a beam from here to here. This hinge is still appearing. No problem. Let's just continue. Then I'll come and select the perfect property. Let's shake out this property first and then click on update. Okay, it's going out. I guess it is going out. That means we want it to come inside, so it will be in alignment with this grid line. So that means this is the perfect condition. I'll click on update. So look at what we're having now. We are okay with it. Then I'll stop. Remember, don't stop at this point. Stop at the end of your grid line. Don't stop at this point. Stop at the end of your grid line. So I'll be stopping at this point. Then next one is that I'll stop at this point. I'll stop at this. I'll stop at this point, but this is not the perfect property. So I'll click again, update this, click on update. Sorry, okay, that means it will be this. I'll click on what update. Yeah, so this is that in alignment. So this is what we're having right now. Remember, we're having a cantilever beam pulling out from this point. We should have a cantilever beam pulling out from this point. So I'll click on this, and then I'll click on this to this point. Yes, if you see that it's pulling up, but it should be at the center. So we'll come and check what is the perfect beam end condition. This one should be the perfect. I'll click on it, then click on what update. Look at it, it's not perfect. Then the next one is that it will not terminate at this point. It terminate at this point. So this is not the perfect. This is not the perfect. Then I'll come and click on this and check, is this one the perfect bending? This one the perfect condition. I'll click on update. Update is going out. Is going out. So I'll come and click on this. Click on what update. So hope you understand. Hope you understand it. So this is how it should be looking like now. So this is how it should look like right now. So I'll escape. I'll come and deselect all these things because not they're making everywhere. They are hinging all the beams. They are hinging all the beams, but not all of them should be hinged. Not all of them should be hinged. So I'll click on all of them. Like click on what no hinge. I'll click on no hinge. I want to hinge it properly. I want to hinge it properly now. I want to hinge it properly now. Don't forget, if you want to learn more of this, get the paid course. Get the paid course. Everything is where it's print in that paid course. Get the paid course and learn. Get the paid course. Then I'll come here and hinge on because in the paid course I calm down and I explain everything. This is a YouTube video, so I'm trying to make sure that this video is not renting. So that's why I'm cutting most of the things. But in that paid course, since I know that you paid it with for your, I paid with, since I know you paid with your money, I calm down and I explain everything. So at this point, I'm having this point now should be hinged. That means I want to hinge only my eye end. I want to hinge only my eye end. So I'll click on this. This eye end should be hinged. This one is JN. So this one now, this is still JN. I want to hinge only my eye end. Oh, I will then hinge this IN. I'll hinge the IN. I want to hinge only my IN. I'll not be able to hinge this IN because this is continuous. So I'll just like click on what update and beam end condition. Then hinge IN. I'll take hinge IN. I'll click on apply to selected beam. The next one, I want to hinge my JN. I want to hinge my JN. So this JN now will not have any hinge because it is continuous at this point. That means the moment here is not zero. But here now I will hinge it. I'll click on it, then select it. Then this is still this is my IN. This is my IN. Why this is my JN? But please don't forget this is the cantilever. Yeah, okay. They don't even put for us the cantilever sign. But don't worry, I'll still input the cantilever sign. But this is a cantilever. I'll still come and explain it. Then we're having only one JN being hinged. So I'll right click again. Click on update BN condition, then JN hinge it. I'll click on apply to selected beam. Yes, so if you can see, they did not put that cantilever sign here. That means if ProtaStructure design this thing now, it will not design it as a cantilever. That is why we are hinging our members, because if ProtaStructure design this beam now, it will not design it as a hinge beam. It will not design it as a hinged beam. So that's why we are hinging it. Also, in this case now, you are not seeing any cantilever sign here. That's the this sign now. This sign now, you are not seeing it. This sign now, you are not seeing it at this point. You are not seeing it at this point. That means if ProtaStructure design this beam now, it will not design it as a cantilever beam. So we have to include, you have to tell ProtaStructure that this beam is a cantilever. That's why we're also telling ProtaStructure that we are to hinge here, we are to hinge here to minimize moment, because if you not hinge it, it will design it as if there is a moment there. That means it will provide more reinforcement. Instead of you to be having 2Y system, you're having 3Y system. Knowing fully well that the goal of every structural engineer is to save costs. So you must hinge your member. Also, in this case, if you do not take ProtaStructure that here is a cantilever, ProtaStructure, remember, a cantilever will be having a top reinforcement. Yeah, it will have a very high, it will have a top reinforcement. That means ProtaStructure will not design to provide a top reinforcement for this beam if you do not hinge it. But right now, let's hinge it. We'll click on it. Then I click, remember, we are hinging the J end, sorry, the I end or any. So let's hinge it right now. So I are hinging, I will right click on it, then click on look at it, mark free end of cantilever, mark free end of cantilever. So we want to mark the JN, we'll just mark it JN, look at it, I just see JN, this cantilever sign have appeared here now. So if ProtaStructure want to design this beam, it will design it as what? A cantilever. So please take note, all these things I'm saying here, they are all very, very important. But if you still want to learn more, get the paid course. If you want to learn more, get the paid course. Then automatically this slab will go, and also this slab will go. We'll right click, then click on delete. We'll delete the slab. Yeah, we'll delete the slab. So right now we have gotten this. Let's go over to our 3D view to see what we have achieved so far. So this is what we have achieved so far. But don't worry, once we input our bottom cantilever now, this will now look very good in your eyes. It will now look perfect in your eyes. So let's take continue. So let's come over to this. Okay, we are at this point now. This is 32. Okay, let's go over to AutoCAD. Let's just see what we have done so far in AutoCAD. So if you look now, this is the back view, this is the back view. We're able to bring out this back view. We are now able to bring out all this cantilever. If you are seeing it, we have pulled out all this cantilever, and also we have been able to pull out. We have been able to pull out this cantilever too. So this is what we have achieved so far. This cantilever, we have been able to pull it out. Yeah. Then let's pull out this cantilever. This cantilever now, let's bring it out. This cantilever, let's bring it out. Remember, we'll be bringing out this beam. Right now what we are bringing out is these beam positions. So let's bring them out for this section, for this front elevation. So let's come over to ProtaStructure again. Then that is, we want to work on this side, on this front view. We want to work on this front view. Then what we'll be doing now, let's go and check the places where the columns will terminate and where we're having new columns. So we'll come over. That's why I say you should watch the structural framing of this video. Yeah, so you understand all these things. So look at this point. We have that this column will terminate and we'll have a new column at this point. Yeah, this column will still be intact. This column will still be intact, but it will project a beam outward. Yeah, so these are the two things that we're having right now. So let's go and delete this column and insert a new column. So I'll come back to this point. I'll click on this. So this is the column that we go, and we'll be having a new column at this point. But before we can insert a column at this point, that means we should have a grid line here. We should have a grid line here. I've said this over and over again. So I'll click on this. I click on the offset axis. I'll click on offset axis. Then I'll come over to this point and place a grid line at this point. I'll escape. I click on what, property. Then I'll turn off this, turn them off. Then check this hidden axis. I'll click on update. So I'm having a grid line at this point right now. Then what I'll do now is I'll double click on this. Once I double click on it, I'll come and place a column at this point. Once I place a column at this point, I'll come and change the properties. This is the perfect property. This is perfect property. Then I'll click on update. So this is what I'm having right now. I'm okay with it. Next thing now is to insert my beams. Yeah, to insert my beam. Remember, a beam will run out from here. If you can remember, this is the hidden beam. This is the ghost. This is the hidden axis that we inserted. This is the hidden axis that we inserted. So a beam will be projected outward. A beam will be projected outward. So right now, what I'll do is that I'll double click on it, knowing fully well that after we'll come and change the hinges. After I'll come and change the hinges. So we'll have a beam from this point to okay, our grid line, look at our grid line from this point to this point. Yes, this is the perfect condition. This is the perfect condition. This is the perfect condition. If you go and shake, you see, okay, let's shake so you see it. Let's shake our AutoCAD so you see that is the perfect condition. Look at it. The beam is moving straight with the wall. So this is the perfect condition. So I'll come over again to ProtaStructure. This is the beam that we're having right now. Then we'll be having this beam now. We will now come. This beam now from this point, it will now rest on this what? It will not rest on this column. But don't forget, it should be in alignment with this grid line. It should be in alignment with this grid line. So I'll click on this, select this, and then click on update. So it's not in alignment with this grid line. Hope you understand it. Hope you understand it's not in alignment with this grid line. If you go over to our 3D view, see what we have achieved so far. This is what we have achieved so far. Then the next thing now, I'll come over to plan view. Then the next thing now is this area. Let's go to our architectural plan and see how it is. Let's come over to our architectural plan. So we are seeing how it is. That means at this point, we'll be having a beam projecting outward. We'll be having a beam projecting outward here. Then another beam will now let another beam. We'll not be having another beam at this point. That means this beam now will now rest on this column and on this cantilever beam. Hope you're understanding. This new beam now will now rest on this column and on this what, cantilever beam. So let's go over to ProtaStructure and do it. Let's go over to ProtaStructure and do it. So we're having a beam projecting outward. So I'll double click on this. We're having a beam projecting outward to this point. Yes. Then we'll now have a new beam now. Remember, this now is a cantilever beam. So the cantilever sign is there. Let's check this one. Okay, the cantilever sign is there. So we are good to go. Then we'll now have a new beam from this point now to this extreme point. But it is not in alignment. It should be in alignment with the edge of this column. It should be in alignment with the edge of this column. It should be in alignment with the grid line. This is the grid line. I've been seeing the grid line. So it should be in alignment with the grid line. So I'll click on this. Then the perfect property, I think it should be this. I'll then click on update. Yeah, this is it. So this is what I'm having right now. So we are good to go. I'll escape. I'll delete. I'll click on this to delete it because we don't need it again. And then hold my control key again. And then also hold my control key for this slab because we don't need this slab again. I'll right click on what, delete. Then beam and slab, that's what we selected. I'll click on OK. So everything has been deleted. So let's go over to our 3D view and see what we have done so far. So this is what we have done so far. So right now, let's come over to our plan view. So let me come over to this and see what we still need to do. So I'm going to come over to our architectural plan. So to see what we still need to do. So look at it. We should be having another. Okay, wait. Let me shake our 3D view. okay. Our 3D view says that we should be having another beam projecting upward. Yeah. We should have another beam. That's this. We shall have a new beam projecting outward. That's this. So let's come and tackle it now. A new beam projecting outward. Let's come and tackle it now. Then at this point, I'll come over to my ProtaStructure. That means this beam now should extend to this point. Why another beam will now project from here to this point. Hope you are understanding. This beam now should extend to this point. Why another beam will now project from this point. But since we are not having any grid line at this point and also at this point, we need to insert a new grid line for us to be able to insert our column and our beam. I've seen it before. Then I'll click on what, property. I'll click on what, sorry, not property, offset axis. I'll click on offset axis. Click on what, offset axis. I'll place one axis at this point. I'll then click on what, property. I'll click on property. I'll convert it to a hidden axis. I'll click on what, update. Yes, so we're having having an axis here now. So this one now we can ignore it because we will just extend this beam to this point. So we can ignore it. So you can stretch this beam or you can delete it and start from beginning. So but let me just delete it because most of us might not really understand the concept of stretching a beam. So I'll just double click on this to bring out this property. Then from this point to that new beam we left on our code on our new grid as this grid. Say okay, look at it. Look at let's read this thing so you understand what this thing means now. He said that new beam crossing over another new beam. That's why I say you should get the paid course. Get the paid course because all these things are well detailed in that paid course. Look at it now. It said new beam crossing over another. Do you want to split the new beam at the supporting span? They are asking us, do you want to split the new beam? I will say no, I don't want to split it, and I will explain to you so you understand. I will say no. So I'm having okay. Look at what does that thing mean? Get the paid course. Get the paid course so that you understand all this thing. It's very cheap. It's very cheap. So what does that mean now? It means that new beam is crossing over another. What it means that they are trying to tell us that they want to split the beam, like they want to split this beam at this point. That means we're having one beam from here to here and another beam from here to here. They want to split the beam. That's what they are trying to tell us. But we tell them no, please don't split the beam, because if they split the beam, that means because our intention is that this beam should be resting on this beam. That means if they split the beam, that means what you're having is that you're having a beam from here to here and then a beam from here to here. That means this beam now will not be resting only on the beam from here to here. Why this one now will be resting back on this? Like it's not really structurally inclined or understandable. Like I don't know how to explain, but what it means that they are trying to break the beam, but we told them no, please don't break it. We want this thing to be a straight beam. Why this one will not rest on that beam? Yeah, get the paid course and understand all these things more. So I'll click from here to here. Remember, it should be in alignment with this axis. It should be in alignment with the axis. So I'll click on this. Click on what? Update. So it's going out. It's going out. That means it will be this condition. I'll click on update. So this is the perfect condition. So this is what we're having right now. Then I'll click on escape. Hope you understand. Please, new beam crossing over another. We don't want to split the beam, but there are some situations where we split the beam. That's why I say you should get the paid course. There are some situations where we have to split the beam, but in this case, there is no need of splitting the beam because we want this long beam. We want this long beam to rest on it, so we don't need to split it. Yeah. So right now, let me hinge all my beam. So I'll first of all select all of them and say and unhinge all of them. I'll first of all unhinge all of them. Let me escape. I'll first of all unhinge all of them. I'll hold my control key. I'll select this. I'll still select this. I'll still select this, and I'll still select this, and finally I'll still select this. Yes, I want to unhinge all of them. I'll right click and say what? No hinge. Yeah, no hinge. I'll say apply to the selected beam. Yes, so at this point I want to hinge it properly. There will be no hinge at this point. So I want to hinge my JNs first. So I'll hinge here. There will be for this beam, there will be a hinge here. Why this cantilever beam? Please don't hinge it. Oh. This beam now selected, and there will be a hinge here. Yeah, I want to hinge my JNs first. So this my JN will be it will be hinged. Yeah, it will be hinged because it is not continuous at this point. Why this point? This my J. Okay. It's simple. All these things, they are all cantilever. They are all simply supported beams. Yes, they are all simply supported beam. So I'll just select it. I'll just hinge at both ends because all of them are simply supported beam. This is a simply supported beam, and two, this is a simply supported beam. We are not going to hinge this one because this is a cantilever. Yeah, we are not going to hinge it. And two, we are not going to hinge one because this is a cantilever. Then I'll right click again. Once I right click, I'll click on what? Update beam end condition. Hinge both ends because they are all simply supported beam. There's something I just saw now. Remember, in story one, we hinged here. Yes, we hinged here. But at this point now, we are not meant to hinge it because this is a continuous beam. It is not continuous. So I'll select this. Sorry. So I'll select this beam. And unhinge it at this point. Yes, and unhinge it at this point. So that means in this case, I'll be hinging only the JN. So I'll click on all beam end condition. I'll hinge only the JN. I'll click on apply to the selected beam. Yes, I'll be hinging only the JN. Then at this point, we hinged here, but now it is not continuous. That means we should not hinge here again. So at this point, since here is continuous and here is continuous, that means there will be no hinge at all. Then I'll click on this. I'll click on what? No hinge. Apply to the selected beam. I'll escape again. Then which other point again do we have all these things? Okay, at this point, yeah, here there should be hinge. Okay, here we not insert hinge at this point. Why? We not insert hinge here. There should be a hinge here. At I end. There should be a hinge at I end. Maybe it's a mistake. There should be a hinge at I end. So I will escape. Now there's a hinge here. At this point, okay, yeah, with no hinge here, we remove the hinge at this point. So we are good to go. So let's continue. So we are through with everything concerning this story 2. Yes, we are through with everything concerning this. Okay, we'll still come back to story 2, but let's come over to our 3D view to see what we have done so far. This is what we have done so far. So right now, I want us to come to this bottom story. this bottom story, yes, to this one, to this story one, and insert our cantilever slab. So you now, so that this thing will now look good in your eyes. Let's come to the story. Let's go to story one and insert our cantilever slab. So I'll come over to my plan view. I'll come over to my story one. So I'll double click. So this is my story one. This is my story one. If you see our this thing, our building set out, our this thing building set out, that the layout is not appear, is not showing in this is not showing in this story one. So let's go and make it. Let's come turn it on so it will start showing in story one. So I'll come to building set out, come to external reference drawing, come to change this thing from story two to what, story one, and then I'll click on what, okay, yeah, it's not showing. If you can see the staircase, story one, the staircase is not showing. But the reason why these ones they are not showing, because we have inserted this grid line. This grid line is preventing them from showing, but we still know their positions. So let's go over. Let's go over again to okay. Remember, okay, let's now insert our slab. We're having slab at this point. Look at it, you're having slab at this point. Yeah, and also a slab at this point. Slab at this point. And what we're having is what, cantilever slab. They are all cantilever slab. So let's go and check the length of our cantilever slab. Let's go and check the length of our cantilever slab. So let me come out of my AutoCAD. Then I want to check the length of this cantilever slab. So I'll click on this thing dimension. I want to check the length of this cantilever slab. The length of this is 600. And I'll right click again, repeat here. The length of this is what? The length of this is 600. So the length is 600. So I'll come over to my ProtaStructure. I'll come over to my ProtaStructure. But there's something I want you to understand. Naturally, this is a duplex. Naturally, we can rest a column and on top of a slab. Yeah, like a normal construction. If it's all this duplex, one story building, yeah, you can rest a column on top of a slab. But if it's say 2-story building, if it's 3-story building, 4-story building, please, don't rest a column on top of a slab. Please, I'm begging, please don't do it. But if it's for duplex, all these duplex building, because the only thing that will be coming to that column is the roof load. That's the only thing coming to that column is the only thing coming to the column is the roof load. So you can rest a column on top of that slab. Remember, we are dealing with this point now. So if you go and check AutoCAD at this, let's go and check. Let's come over to AutoCAD. So if you check, remember we are dealing with this point. That's this back end, this column position now. If you see now, look at is this column position. So that means this column now. Remember we said that will be inserting a column here. That means this column now will be carrying only the roof load, so it can carry it. But if there's let me say all this step on top of it, please. If there's all this step on top of it, please. Try not to insert a hidden beam, so insert a beam. Yeah, it will be more advisable to insert a beam. But if you're a professional that you know what you are designing, yes, you can go with it. So far you know what you are designing. But if you are still starting up, please don't let it on top of a slab. Yeah, unless what that column is carrying, unless the only thing that column is carrying is just the roof load. So in this case, what our column is carrying is just the roof load. So I'll come over to this point, click on my ProtaStructure, and click on this, and click on my ProtaStructure. So I will be inserting a column at this, my column will be resting on the slab. Yes, my column will rest on the slab, on my cantilever slab. But ProtaStructure, if you rest a column on top of a slab in ProtaStructure, but from ProtaStructure 2025 and above, you can rest a column on top of a slab and it will work. It will just like it will show you error, but in your design, it will still design through. But for ProtaStructure 2024 below, if you rest column on top of a slab, it will not design. Like they will be telling you error will be popping out at all points that you are resting a column on top of a slab. So I know that most of you will be using ProtaStructure 2024 and below. So let me show you what to do so that you not get stuck while going through the video. Please get the CAD file and practice the architectural plan of this video, of this and practice. If you can see, this is a little bit challenging, so that's why you should get the CAD file, because if you're able to succeed in modeling this and in designing this, that means any design that comes your way, you can easily model it and design it, and you make money from it. So at this point, what are we going to do? That means for us to be okay. Remember, I said that ProtaStructure will, if you rest a column on top of a slab, ProtaStructure will see it as an error. So for that reason, what we are going to do now is that we will insert what is called a hidden beam, so that the column will now rest on that hidden beam. Yeah, we'll insert a hidden beam. So let's do it now so you understand. So I'll double click on this. I'll double click on it to bring out the property. So to make this now a hidden beam, the only thing I need to do is that I need to change this thing to the thickness of the slab, which is what, 150. Then I'll now insert a beam from this point to what, this point. So this beam now is called a hidden beam because it has the same thickness with the slab, or is carrying the slab thickness. You can either call it a hidden beam or you call it slab stiffener. A hidden beam or slab stiffener. Yeah, you can call it any of them. So this is it. I'll escape. So this is what we're having right now. Then I'll remove this cantilever sign. I'll remove this cantilever because remember I told you that I could have rested it on top of the slab, but due to the fact that ProtaStructure But due to the fact that ProtaStructure we see it as an error, that's why I inputted that hidden beam. Yeah, so that's why. So I'll click on this. I'll say, okay, no. Okay, let me just leave it. Let me just leave it. But the thing that you have to know that another thing you have to know, since I just inputted this so that I'll be able to design using ProtaStructure. Please try and hinge it, try and hinge it at both end, because if you don't hinge it at both end, ProtaStructure will provide a very heavy reinforcement. Remember, I told you I don't really need this slab, I don't really need this beam. It's just that ProtaStructure will be popping out error if I want to design. So that's why I'm inserting this. I don't really need it. So to prevent those error, yeah, that's why I just inserted it. So and if you leave it at the depth of 150, ProtaStructure it will fail. So for that reason, I'll advise you to hinge it. Just hinge it. But if you still want to learn more, like if you want to understand these things that I've seen where, if you want to understand all these things that I've seen, please get the course, because I really went deep in the course. Get the course. So I'll just hinge it. I'll just select beam end condition, hinge both ends. Yeah, apply to selected beam. So I've hinged it. So just get the course so you'll be able to understand this thing more. So like this, at this point now, what I'll come over, click on this slab, to bring out this property. I'll click on this slab to bring out this property. What's going on? Let me escape. So I'll click on this slab to bring out this property. Then for a cantilever slab is what? 12. Cantilever slab is what? 12. Then the next thing that we'll be doing is that since cantilevers, okay, we are still having the same loading. Yeah, the same loading. Well, then what is the length of our cantilever? Whereas we shaped it is what? 600. Is 600. So I'll come over to this point and I'll insert my cantilever slab from this point to this point. I'll take it up. Then I'll also insert another cantilever slab from this point to this point. I'll bring it to this point like this. Yes. So this is what I'm having now. I've inserted my cantilever slab. So I'll escape. Let's go over to ProtaStructure and see what we have done. So if you see now, Abi, it's not looking good in your eyes. It's not looking good in your eyes. Yes, it's not perfect now. It's not perfect. Then if we want to more than that, we will not trim off outside now. We will not trim off this and trim off this, like this excessive concrete. Yeah. So exactly what I've done here, I'll still repeat it in all. Okay, I made a mistake. This cantilever slab did not start from the extreme. It did not start from the extreme. It did not start from the extreme. So yeah, it did not start from this point. It should have started from this point. So I made a mistake. So let me delete it. Like click on what? Delete. And click on delete, and then double click on this again to bring out this property. I'll double click on this again to bring out this property. So this, it should start from this extreme. It should start from this extreme. Yeah, I should start from this extreme to this point. It say cannot find common axis element. I'll just click on OK. I'll click on OK. Then I'll do it from here to here. Then I'll bring it out. So this is it now. So I'm okay now. It's now on this, so that the column will be able to rest on the slab. Yeah, on the slab. Okay, let's check again. Okay, we are not having any column at this point. So we are still good to go. So next one that I would like us to do is this one. Let's do for this extreme one. So I'll come over to my plan view. I know that this video is taking long, but I just want you to understand. So don't forget our let's check the point. We're having a column at this point. We're having a column at this extreme. So that means I'll have a hidden beam here based on the things I've explained earlier. We're having a column. Let's just check the places where we're having a column. We're having a column at this point, and also at this point. That means we'll be having a hidden beam at those points. So I'll just come over and then double click on this to bring out this property. I'll double click on it to bring out this property. I'm having a hidden beam from here to here. So I'm okay with this. Yeah, both ends are hinged because I took the property. So both ends are hinged. I'm having a hidden beam from here to, remember we said that is this extreme. Okay, is this one from here to here. I'll also escape. The next one, hey, let me come and select the property. Let me come and still select the property. The next one, we said that we're having a hidden beam from this slab point to this point. Yeah, so I'll escape so that the column will rest on it. So at this point, let's go and check the length of our cantilever. Let's come over to AutoCAD and check the length of our cantilever. So I'll check the length of my cantilever. I'll click on my linear. What is the length from here to here? I'm having to be 600. Then repeat linear again. What is the length from this point to this point? I'm having to be 825, 600 and 825. So at this now, I'll double click on this. So the length is what? 600. So we are good to go. So I'm having from here to this point. I'll bring it out. This is what I'm having from this point to this point. I'll bring it out. Then I'll change the length now to 825. 825. I'll change the length to 825. Then I'm having from from this point. I'm having, please, I'll pick the extreme from here to here. I'll bring it out. Yes, I'm good to go. And next one is that I'm having from this point. from this point. You can stop it at this point if you want. Yeah, if you want, you can stop it at this point. But I'll prefer that you stop it at this point. I prefer you stop it at this point. So I'm having a from here to here. I'll bring it out. I'll bring it out. So this is what I'm having right now. Let's go over to our 3D view and see. Let me escape. So let's come over to this point. Yeah, have you seen what we're having right now? Yeah, this one will be trimmed off our side. So if you see, we made it 150 so that it will be in alignment, so that it will flush with this slab. It will flush with this slab. So this is what we're having right now. So this is what we're having right now. Then the next part is that let's come and model this part. I forgot to delete this beam. I forgot to delete this column. I forgot to delete this beam. Sorry, this column. This column. No, this, yeah, I forgot to delete the column. Let me come over to my plan view. Then I'll come over to story 2. I'll come over to story 2. I'll come over to story 2. Yeah, I forgot to delete the column. Look at this column. I'll right click on what? Delete. I'll click on delete. So it has gone. So I'll come over to my story 1 again to continue my modeling. I'll double click on it to continue my modeling. So to continue my modeling, then the next phase of this modeling now is we have to model here. We have to bring that here. So we're having a slab from this point to this point. So let's remember we're having a column at this extreme. We're having a column at this extreme. So we should have a slab there. So we should have a hidden beam there. So we should have a hidden beam at that point. So from here to here, we should have a hidden beam at this point. So we have a slab here. We have a slab at this point. Then we have a slab here. Then we'll have another slab at this point. Yes, so these are the things that we're having. We're having a slab at this. Okay, let's just model so you understand. So I'll come and double click on this to bring out its property. I'll double click on this to bring out its property. So this slab is starting from this extreme. Yeah, this extreme to this point. You bring it out. I'll bring it out. Yes, I'll bring it out. Then the next phase of this slab is starting from here, from this point now to this point. I will bring it out. Yes, I'll bring it out. Then I want to know the length of this slab. I want to know the length from here to here. I want to know the length from here to here. So I'll just like click. I want to measure. I'll click on measure. I want to know the length from here now, from this now to this point to this point. Okay, let me just click here. So look at it, 1,600. 1,600. So it's still okay. So far it's not carrying any column and anything. It's still okay. It's just carrying only. Okay, let's go to our AutoCAD and see what it's carrying. Let's go to our AutoCAD and see what it's carrying. And see what it's carrying. Oh, it's just carrying only window, only handrail, only handrail. It's not even carrying any column and anything. So we are good to go. 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 This one is carrying wall load. Yeah, these ones they are carrying wall load. They are carrying wall load. Yeah, it can carry it. It can carry it. It's carrying wall load. It can carry it. Highest, the space will be 200, but it's carrying wall load. Yeah, it can carry it. The space will be 200. We'll make the spacing 200. Why this one is not really carrying anything, and the length is 1,600. So it's good to go. So far it's carrying only the handrail. We are good to go. So I'll come over to this again. I'll come over to my ProtaStructure. Don't worry, you see how we are going to load our structure. We are going to see how we are going to load our structure. So I'll double click on this. So okay, wait, I made a mistake. I want to check on something again. So I want to come over to this point and measure the current rent. I want to come over to this point and measure the current rent. And measure the correct rent. So 1,500. So I'll come over to this point again. I'll double click on this. Once I double click on this, I will come over to this cantilever and change it to 1,500. 1,500. So I'm having it to be from this point to this point. I'll bring it out. Yes, this is what I'm having. Remember, it should start from here. Don't worry, doing our detailing, we'll make it to start from here. This doesn't really mean if we want it to start from here, that means we need to input a new grid line here. Yeah, but it doesn't really mean because it is too small. So doing our detailing will account for it. So I will escape again. So this is what we're having right now. Then don't forget, we are still having this point. We are still having a cantilever length at this point. Yeah. Let's go to AutoCAD so you understand what we are saying. Look at it. This is the cantilever. We are still having a cantilever at this point. That's for this family range. So let's check the rent. And model it. Let's check the rent. So the rent is from here to here. We have it to be 1 meter. 1 meter. So I'll come over to my ProtaStructure. Once I come over to my ProtaStructure, I'll come and double click on this again.
Are you a civil engineer? Let me ask you a question. What if in just few days from now, you can pick up any architectural plan, confidently carry out its full structural design and detailing, and start earning from it? Sounds unreal, right? Stay with me because I'm about to show you exactly how. I created a 10 days intensive structural design and detailing masterclass to show you step by step how real structural design is done in practice, and this course is designed to last for 10 days. Before I show you what you are going to learn, This is the architectural plan we'll be working with, and we will carry out each structural design and detailing. Day one of this course is all about structural framing, also known as general arrangement drawing. Here, we will master the governing principles in column placement, beam placement, and slab paneling. Day two is all about modeling in ProtaStructure, where we will model our architectural plan using the software ProtaStructure. Day three is all about analysis and design, where we will analyze the forces acting on each structural members, that is slab, beam, column, and foundation, and then design the reinforcement required to counter those forces. We will also learn interactive design, where we don't just accept what the software suggests but validate it using manual engineering principle. Day 4 is all about foundation detailing. Day 5 will be about part-based footing detailing. Day 6, column detailing. Day 7, beam detailing. Day 8, slab detailing, and you will understand the governing principles in slab reinforcement, that is how to place your top and bottom bars and how to detail a slab section. Day 9 is all about staircase detailing and east sectioning. Day 10, you will learn how to print and present your drawing in a way that looks professional. In this course video, you are going to get the architectural plan we use and also a complete structural design drawing of this architectural plan, and finally you will get a step-by-step video course on structural design and detailing of this architectural plan. For now, I'm giving it out at 80% discount. If you buy it today, you will get it at a discounted rate, and we have bonus packages for the first 100 people only, which includes structural design and detailing template I personally use, structural engineering CV template to help you stand out for any job application, free installation of ProtaStructure and AutoCAD software, and finally access to our online engineering community, where we share engineering tips on daily basis so you stay sharp and never get outdated. But all this is only for the first 100 people to subscribe. Don't miss this chance to close the gap between theory and practice. Click the learn more button and get the course now.
So I'll double click on this. So I'll click on this cantilever and change it to what? 1 meter. And change it to what? 1 meter. Yes, and change it to 1 meter. Okay. Hey, I just saw something. We not insert any grid line at this point. So if we try to insert it, you see that it will not work. Okay, let me just show you. So you see, let me just show you. So you see, it's not working. It's snapping to this. Grid line. Let me just escape again. Let me just zoom where and pick here. You see, I picked here now. If I pick here now, let me go and insert it to this point. I'll pick here now. Look out, they say cannot find a common axis for element insertion. That means we don't have a please pick insertion point again. That means we don't have a grid. What they're trying to tell us that we don't have a grid line at this point. There's no grid line at this point. So we either let me just input a new grid line. So I'll right click again, click on what? Offset axis. I'll click on offset axis and then place a new grid line here. You can either input a new grid line or you just leave it. Doing your detailing, you account for it. Doing your detailing, you account for it. But let me just input a new grid line since I've started. If I'm the only one doing the design, and I'll just leave it. Doing the detailing, I'll account for it. Yeah. So I'll come again. I'll double click on this. I'll come over to cantilever length again and change it to what? 1 meter. I'll change it to what? 1 meter. Then I'm having it to move from this point again. You see that it will not insert. I'm having to move from here to here. See, it's not insert. Yes, so this is what I'm having right now. So right now we have inserted all our cantilever. So let's go over to our 3D view and see what we are having. So this is what we're having so far. Remember, some of the beams will stay terminate. Some of the beam will convert them to 300. Yeah, for example, these ones. Remember, this one now. Remember, this is a penthouse. So this beam now is not carrying the roof load. So we'll change it to 300. Let's go and shake. Let's shake. So you see now, all these beams that are not carrying anything. Okay, look at it now. From here now, any beam now that is not carrying anything, that is only carrying the roof load, we will remove them. We will change them to 300. Yeah, because they are not carrying anything. Any beam that is only carrying the roof load, we change it to 300 because there is no slab on top of it again. Remember, I told you that the minimum beam depth is 300. Then plus the depth of your slab, making it what? 450, because 300 plus 150, which is depth of your slab, we now make it what? 450. So these ones that are not really carrying anything again, they will not be what? 300, because they are no longer carrying any what? Slab. So what I'll do now is that let me just do CO enter. And let me just do CO enter. Let me just keep this in at this point. Then what I'll do now is that I'll convert this into a block element. B enter. I want to convert it to a block element. B enter. Let me just type block 2. Let me just type block 2 because we have done block one before. So I can just type block two, or you just type anything that you want. So I want to type block two. So I want to type block two. So everything, this is not a block element. So I'll copy it from the staircase position. So we'll copy from this point. Yeah, the staircase position. And to look at the staircase, this is the staircase, this is the staircase. So we'll place it at this point. So any that means any beam now, all these beam now, they will be what? 300. I'll change the depth to what? 300. All these beam, their depth will what? Change to 300. And also this beam, yeah, and also these beams, their depth will change to 300. It's only these ones that are carrying slab that will remain at what? 400. So first look at it. These ones, remember here is staircase, so here will be void. Here will be void. Here will be void. Here I'm this. So let's go over and model it now. So you see. So what we're having right now, there should be a slab here and there should be a slab here based on what we have seen so far. So I'll come over to my plan view. So this is story one. I'll come over to story two again. I'll come over to story two again. I'll double click on this. Yeah, there should be a slab here. There should be a slab here. So I'm having a slab here. There should be a slab here. Look at what I'm having, a slab here. And then here, I should have a beam that will cut off this. Let's go and check again so you see. Let's check again so you see. Look at it. It went straight. A beam that will cut off this. Then I'm having this. I hope you are seeing a beam that cut off this slab. You're having a straight beam. Look at what I'm having next, flowing from here. I'm having from here next, then down. So let's go and check. Let's come over to ProtaStructure. Remember, a beam that will run straight. Look at it. So this is it. This is, so that means I'm having slab here, slab here, slab here, slab here, and slab here. We are good to go. So what I'll do now is I'll click on this, right click to delete this, then I'll double click on this. I'll come now. Okay, I'll come down and double click on this. I'm having a beam from this point to this point. Yes, a straight beam from this point to this point. So let's check. I'll remove. Okay, this one will be hinged at I end alone. So I'll select it. It will be hinged at I end. So hinged at I end. Upright beam. Yeah, it will be hinged at I end. Why this one? This one will not be hinged at a. Okay, it will not be hinged. It will not have any hinge at all. So I'll do no hinge. No hinge. So this is it. Apply to the selected beam. No hinge. So that means this beam now is no longer necessary. So I'll delete it. Is this beam now is no longer necessary? So I'll delete it. Yeah, because this is a roof load. We want to save cost. So I'll double click on this again. And apply a slab. And I'll apply slab here. Yeah. So this is what we're having right now. So that means all these beams now, they're not really carrying anything. They will not be what? 300 by what? 300. So let's select all of them. We'll hold your control key. Select all of them. So they all now will not be what? 300. The depth will not be what? 300. They will not have a beam depth of what? 300. A beam depth of what? 300. So this is what I'm having right now. A beam depth of what? 300. So we change all of them to a beam depth of what? 300. This, a beam depth of what? 300. So let's continue. Oh, I made a mistake. So let me deselect this again. Yes. Okay, I will not select these ones. I'll come over to this point. I'll select this. 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 I'll select. Okay, after I'll come and check whether we're having something here. So I'll come and okay, this one I'll just leave it. Okay, yeah, this one I'll just leave it. I will say explain something with this beam now. I think we are good to go. Okay, this one too will be 300. I'll hold my control key. This one should be 300 too. Yeah, we are good to go. Then let me come and check. Okay, this one, let me just leave it at 450. Let me leave it at 450 because they will be carrying I think they are carrying slab. We'll go and check again. They are carrying slab. So I'll leave it at 450. Yeah, so we are good to go here. So I'll right click, then click on property. I'll click on property. So let's wait for it. Then once I click on property, look at the depth. I'll click on this, then click on this pencil icon, then change it to what? 300. I'll change it to what? 300. 30. Yeah, 300 now. I'll click on OK. Look at it. All of them have been changed. Then I'll click on what? Close. So the depth has been changed to what? 300. Yes, this one will be left at 450 because it is still carrying slab. Let's check in ProtaStructure. Let's check in AutoCAD. So look at it in 3D view. Look at it. It's still carrying a staircase. It's still carrying this. So we'll leave it at what? 450. Yeah, it's still carrying this slab. So we are going to leave it at 450. So let's come over to AutoCAD now. So let's go and see what we have done so far. So this is what we have been able to achieve. These are front elevation. And two, this is what we have achieved so far. So next one that we'll be doing now is to Okay, next, okay, come over. Next thing that we'll be doing now is to insert our story three. Yeah, it is to insert the final story. So you get to understand everything. That's the next thing we are going to do. We are going to be inserting our final story. Yeah, that's this roof, that's this penthouse, that's this penthouse. And I'll come over to this ProtaStructure. I'll come over to ProtaStructure. Yeah, if I even forgot to show you, sir, if you look where, if you see the depth of this is now smaller than this. Yeah, the depth is now smaller. Yeah, you're not having the same depth because this is 300 and this is 450. Then I'll come over to my plan view to insert a new story. Please, I want to stay in story 2. I will stay in story 2 because I want to generate members from this story 2. So I'll stay in story 2. Then I'll come over to my building setup, come over to my story operation, come over to insert story. Then come over, I'll input this into what? To story 3. See the height of what? 300. I'll now say generate story from the selected member. The selected member now is now what? Story 2 because I want to generate from story 2. Then I'll click on what? Okay. I'll click on okay. So this and the previous process will not be undone. I'll click on yes. So let's allow it. Let's allow it to generate story. So let's allow it. So look at it. Everything has been generated. Coming over to our 3D view, I'll click on this. So these are 3D view. This is what we're having in our 3D view. So this is what we're having right now. Then, as you all know, we don't need all these things like all these beams. They are not involved. They are not in our 3D view. So let me just come over to our plan view. I'll come over to my plan view. So once I come over to my plan view, I will select all of them. Yeah, I'll just select all of them. I can just select them like this. Yeah, I'll select these ones like this. Everything will be selected. Then I'll hold my control key. Please hold your control key and select this. And select this. Hold your control key and I'll select this. Anyone that I don't need, I'll just deselect them. I'll select this. I'll also select this. And then come over to this point, I'll select this. This is what I'm having. This is what I'm having. This is what I'm having. Yes, I'll select all this. Everything that I don't need, I will select them. These ones too. This one, they are not needed. They are not needed. And two, it is not needed. It's not needed. I'll just select all the ones that I don't need and delete them. So this is what I'm having right now. I'll right click, then click on what? Delete. I'll click on delete. Then I don't want to delete any axis. Yes, I want to delete some columns and I want to delete some beams. Then I'll click on OK. Let's allow it to delete. Look at it. So everything has been deleted. So this is what I'm having. Okay, I would not delete this column. Then I hold my control key, select this. Also hold my control key, select this column. Then hold my control key, select this column. What next? I'll hold my control key, select this column. Hold my control key, select this column. Then we have deleted everything. Then this is a roof beam. This is a roof beam. That means there is no slab. There is no slab. There is no slab. So I'll also delete all this slab. Then I'll right click. Then click on what? Delete. I'll click on what? I'll click on delete. I'll click on delete, which is this. And then click on what? Okay. Yeah. So if you see this beam now is projecting outward. I don't want this beam to be like this. That means I need to remove this beam and then insert a column at this point. So what I'll do now is that I'll click on this. Once I click on it, I'll right click. Okay. You know, I told you I'll explain something with this. I told you I'll explain something with this before, but I forgot to explain it. So looking at this, look at I want to explain the concept of primary and secondary beam and also breaking of beam. That's why I say you should get the paid course. That's 10 days intensive structural design and detailing masterclass. Get that course. It will really help you a lot because I really explain all these things in that paid course. So remember, I told you this is a primary beam. Yeah, this is a primary beam. And two, this beam now is being connected by this column and this column. Why this now? This now is a secondary beam. Yeah, this is a secondary beam. Even though I'm having a column at this point, this will still be called a secondary beam. And two, in this case, if you see this is one beam and this is also one beam. Yeah, what it means is that this beam is resting on this column and this beam is resting on this column. Yeah, that means both of them are resting on this column. Why this primary beam is not carrying their load? That means this is serving as a point load to this beam and this is also serving as a point load to this beam. So in a case, for example, let me delete this now and show you something. Let me hold my control key. I'll delete it and show you something. Let me delete it. I'll click on what? Okay, I'll delete both of them. Then I'll double click on this to bring out its property. Let's wait for it. So look at what I'm having. So I want to insert a beam from here to here. So look out, they are telling me new beam crossing over each other. Do you want to split the beam? In this case, I'll tell them no, I don't want to split the beam. Yeah. Sorry, I'll tell them yes, I want to split the beam. Is a mistake. Let's undo it. Okay. Let me just show you something. But I should have said no, I don't want to split the beam. So in this case, now look at it now. This now, if you see, this now is just one member. What it means is that this beam now is not transferring its load to this beam. Yeah, it means is that this beam now is not transferring its load to this beam. Like this is one member. Why this is one member? And it is not transferring its load to the beam. So if you model this like this, that means you are not accurate in your modeling. You are not accurate in your model. And in design, this beam will fail because this is a very long beam. Yeah, because it is a very long beam. It is assumed or supposed that it should be transferring east load to this beam. But if you say don't split, that means it is not transferring east load to this beam. So the correct option should have been that I'll select this, I'll also my control key, I'll select this. Okay, sorry, I'll select this. Okay, I'll hold my control key, then click on delete. The correct option should be that I'll double click on this. Let's wait for a dialog box to appear. The correct option should be that. So let me double click on it again. And then the correct solution should be that I'll move from here to here. Then they'll not ask me, do you want to split the beam? I'll say yes, split the beam. So they will not be. So what I'll now be having here is two beam. Look at it. I'm having this beam and then this beam. That means I'm having two beams, this and this. This beam now will now transfer east road to this beam. Why this beam now also transfer east road to this beam? So this is how it should be. Get the paid course, because almost all these things I don't really explain them here, but I explained all of them in the paid course. So seeing that this is a roof beam, we don't need this. Seeing that this is a roof beam, and two, our roof is like this. Our roof is like this, like this block wall is like this, like this, like this. Yeah, that means this one we don't need this here. We don't need this here. So what are we going to do? What we are going to do now is that what we are going to do now is that since this is a roof beam and we are also trying to economize, because in roof beam not all the beams are necessary. Not all the beams are necessary. So I'll be removing this. I'll be removing this that is here. Don't worry, it's just what I'll do. I'll delete it. I'll like click on what? Delete. Yeah, I'll click on delete. Then I'll double click on this to bring out the column property. I'll double click on it to bring out the column property. I'll insert a column at this point. Yes, I'll click on this, right click, then click on what? Delete. I don't need it again. So I'll be having this thing like this. It will be like this. So this will be my roof beam. This will be like roof beam. I'll come over to my 3D view to see what I've been able to achieve so far. So let me click on solid zero so that this grid line will go to solid zero. So this is what we have achieved so far. Yes, this is what you have achieved so far. So this is what you have achieved so far. Yeah, okay. I'm having this. Let me come and check my architectural plan for this. And also, okay, I will also forgot to delete this. So I'll just like click on what? Delete. Yes, so it has gone. So this is what I'm having. This is what I've been able to achieve so far. So I saw how we were able to model this penthouse. So in this case, let me come to my architectural plan and see what I'm having. So coming over to my architectural plan, so I'm having that. Remember that column is this column now. Is this column, and to that we are seeing that column did not come up, like it shouldn't be here. We should not be having it at this story. We should not be having it at this penthouse. So I'll come over to my I'll come out to ProtaStructure. Then at this point, what I'll do is that I'll click on it to delete it. Yes, okay, escape. I'll click on this. Then I'll also hold my shift key, hold my control key. Then click on this. I'll right click on what? Delete. I'll click on delete. I'll click on it and then click on OK. Yes, this one let me go to plan view so I'll be seeing it very well. That means this one too. Wait, it not delete. Let me do Ctrl Z to return back everything. So I want to delete this and this. Yeah, I want to delete both of them. I'll like click on what? Delete. I'll click on delete. I'll click on what? Okay. So like at this point now, I'll double click on this thing to bring out its property. So I'll double click on it. So I'm having this from here to here. So this is what I'm having. Yeah, this is a cantilever. So it's showing a cantilever sign. But okay, it's okay. I'm okay with this. So this is my roof beam. And so I've gotten the modeling accurate. Hope you are understanding and hope you are following. Get the paid course because I really went in depth in that paid course. So right now, the next thing that we'll be doing now is to insert our wall load. In inserting wall load, I would like to come to my plan view. I would like to go to story 1. I'll click on story 1. So I would like to insert a wall load. For sure, I know that I should be having a wall load here. So I'll click on this, then click on edit load. I'll click on edit load. Once this dialog box appears, what we want to apply here is wall load. So this is for point load, full uniform load. So we'll come to wall load. This is what we want to apply. So we'll click on it. So this dialog box will appear. Then you come to this point. And choose user define. Yes, so user define. Then if you want to put in windows and the rest, from here you put it. But me, I don't like putting windows and the rest because I want to design as what condition. So I don't normally like putting windows and the rest. So if you want to apply wall unit weight, so okay, so this is it now. This is wall unit weight. So wall unit weight, your wall unit weight. For wall unit weight, okay, for wall unit weight, we'll be having that. Okay, let me explain wall unit weight for you. So for 225 by 225, sorry, for 225 block wall, its wall unit weight is 2.87. That's the wall unit weight of a 225 block wall. 2.87. But you know that after placing your block wall, we will do plastering. Yes, so we'll plaster both the front and the back. So the unit weight of plastering is 0.3. Of that plaster, the unit weight, that's the sand and the mortar, the unit weight is 0.3. So until you know it will be 0.3, we'll be doing front and back. So it will be 0.3 plus 0.3, so which is now 0.6. That's the unit weight of the mortar and sand for front and back of the block wall. So let's now sum everything up now. So we'll get the unit weight of the block work we'll be using. So in summing it up, we'll be having that the unit weight of block is 2.87. That's 225 by 225 block wall. That's 9 inches block wall. Each unit weight is 2.57. Then the unit weight of plaster, that is the stand and the mortar, is 0.3. We'll be having front and back, which is now 0.3 plus 0.3. We'll be having 0.6. Then 0.6 plus 2.87, you can press to your calculator, you now be having 3.47. 0.6 plus 2.87, we're having 3.47. So we'll come here and input our unit weight to be 3.47. So this is our unit weight. So at this point now, they're asking us what is the height of our block wall. What is the height of our block wall? So the height of our block wall is 2.7 meters. 2.7 meters, that's the height of our block wall. 2.7 meters. Let me explain it to you. Sorry, is in millimeter, so it's 2700. Since the unit is in millimeter, so it's 2700. Let me explain it to you. You know that if you check our architectural plan, the height of story 1 is 3 meters. Okay, let me just click on insert and then go to the modeling and show you. So the thickness of our block, we're using the thickness of block of 225 by 225. So I'll click on 225 by 225. Don't click on insert. Just come here and click on this. You have applied it. Then I click on OK. This is what I'm having. So I'm not able to insert word. Let's go to our 3D view to see what we have done. So look at it. What you have done. So right now I'll come over to my AutoCAD to see the places that I'm having wall load. Yeah, to see the places that I'm having wall load. So in this AutoCAD, I'm seeing that to see the places I'm having wall load. Remember, if you want to check the places you're having wall load, you use this first floor. Yeah, because it is this first floor that will be carrying wall load. So I'm seeing that this will have wall load, this will have wall load. Okay, let's just apply it to all places. Then after, we'll not delete the places that are not having wall load. Yeah, let's just apply it all, and after, we'll not delete the places that are not having wall load. But first of all, let me delete this enter. Let me delete it because I don't need it again. So I can easily locate places that are having wall load. So at this point, I'll come over to my plan view again. Then I'll come over to story 2. So this story 2, I'll come over to beams. Okay, first of all, I'll copy it. I'll copy the wall load. I click, then click on copy load. I'll click on copy load. I'll click on OK. So I've copied the load. So at this point, I'll click on this first beam. Once I click on this first beam, I'll hold my shift key. Hold your shift key. I'll select this last beam. Then it will select all the beams. Then at this point, I'll then come to this point and click on paste load, or you right click, and then click on what? Paste load. So once you do that, you see the load has been pasted in all the beams. So I will escape. Remember, these ones they are not having wall load because the wall load will be applied on the slab, on this cantilever slab. So I'll hold my shift key, select this because I will remove the wall load on it. These ones they are not having wall load. So I'll hold my shift key, select all of them because I know they are not having wall load. So I'll hold my shift key, select this, also select this, yes, because I know they are not having wall load. I will say select this, yes, and I'll also select this. I know they're not having wall load. Come over to, okay, let me just leave here. This one, I'm having window here. So I'll select this and select this because I know it's not having wall load. Here, the wall load is at this cantilever side. Then here, I think, okay, let me just leave here after I'll check on it. Then at this point, what I'll do, okay, this one is not having complete wall load. So I will still delete it. And at this point, I'll still delete it. I'll right click. What I'll do now is that I'll click on delete load. I'll click on delete load. Then click on OK. So this is what I'm having. Let me escape. So this is what I'm having. Like, we have removed all the wall load. So let me check here and also check here to know whether we are having wall load on those places. So I'll come over to my AutoCAD. Yeah, come over to my AutoCAD. Okay, yes, there's wall load. Then okay, at this slab there's wall load here. So then at this extreme there's wall load here. I need to there's wall load here. So I'll take note of this and then this one and this one. So let me come back to ProtaStructure and model it. So at this point, remember we said there is no wall load here. The wall load is at the extreme. So I'll hold my control key, select it, and also select this one. Then I'll right click. Click on what? Delete load. I'll click on delete load. Then click on OK. Yeah, I'll escape. Then I'll select this beam. Hold my shift key. Also select this beam. I'll come over to this point and click on paste load. Then it will paste the load. So I've done this. Remember, we'll apply the slab load here. So okay, let's come over to this one. Let's come over to AutoCAD. This one that is having line here. Okay, this one that is having a load at this point. I'll just apply it on the beam. I just want to apply it on the beam. So I'll come over to this point. come over to this point, I'll click on this, then click on wall load, I'll click on paste load, I'll click on paste load, then this is now my cantilever. Yeah, this is my the veranda, that's the sit out, the cantilever. So this is what I'm having. Let's also check to know whether is there any place that is there should not be wall load, that we are inserting wall load. Yeah, I think we are through. I think we are through. Okay, this point is free. Okay, I've taken note of it. I think we are through, and this point too, they are free. I think we are through. I think we are through. So let me come back again. I'll come to my story. I'll come to this. I'm having that here. There's no wall load here. There's no wall load here. Then I'll click on. I'll like click on what, delete road. Delete road, not delete, just delete road. I'll click on delete road. Then click on OK. Yeah, there's no wall load here. I'll escape. Then I think we are through with everything. I think we are through. So the next thing now is to apply. Okay, remember there is a partial wall load here. Let's shake, let's shake, let's shake. Yeah, there's a partial wall load here. Look at it. It starts from here to this point. It starts from here to this point. So let's go and insert that partial wall load. So you see how to insert partial wall load. So let's take it that it starts from here and stop at this grid line. Let's just take it that it starts from here and stop at this grid line. If you want to apply it, look at how to apply it here. You come, okay, if you want to apply, look at how to apply it here. You come over to this place. Look at insert load by dragging. Insert load by dragging. You click on it. Once you click on it, you click on from here to this point. Yeah, you look at the road that been inserted. So insert load by dragging. But I think this option is available only in 2025 and in 2024. I think so. Then at this point, we are through with our load insertion. We are through with our load insertion. The next thing is to apply this cantilever load. Yeah, this cantilever load. Next thing is to apply them. So how are we going to get our cantilever load? The cantilever load is gotten by the unit weight of your block wall times the height of your block wall. The unit weight of your block wall times the height of your block wall. If you can remember, when we are doing slab, I told you, when we are inserting slab, I told you that the ProtaStructure have automatically calculated the self weight of the slab. And I told you that the way it calculated it is the unit weight of slab, unit weight of concrete times the depth of your slab. The reason why I use unit weight of concrete in that area is because slab is made up of concrete. But in this case, I'm using unit weight of block because I know that block is made up of, so I know that wall is made up of what, block. So I'm using the unit weight of block times the height of block. So I'll come over to my calculator. Let me come to calculator. I'll type cow to bring out my calculator. So I'll click on my calculator. Let's wait for it to appear. So the unit weight of my block wall we agreed to be 3.47. 3.47. Then times the height of my block wall. What was the height of my block wall? 2,700 millimeter. But this one is in meter. This is in meter. That means I'll be using 2.7. That's 2.7. So that both of them will be in meter. Then I'm having 3.96. So I can use 9.4. I can use 9.4 as the magnitude of my what, as the magnitude load that I'll apply on this what, block wall, so that I'll apply on this slab, as the load that I'll apply on this slab. Then I'll come over to modeling. So I'll come over to loading. Come over to loading, look at point load, line load, and area load. So I'll click on it. Then come over to this point that says, okay, I'll come over to line load. Then come over to this magnitude. You know, this will be a dead load. So I will be using this dead load. This one is for life load. This block wall is not life load because it is not movable. It will be there forever. So it is dead load. So I'll be using 9.4 as my dead, as the magnitude, load magnitude. That's the load that you're using. So I'll be using 9.4. So I'll use 9.4. So that's what I'll be using. Then I'll apply it from this point to this point. It has been applied. I'll apply it again from this point to this point. It has been applied. Then I'll apply from here to here. Yes, it has been applied. The magnitude of what, 9.4. Hey, I made a mistake here. Does not have any block load. Yeah, here does not have any block load. Let's go and check. So you see it. Look at it. Here is a cantilever. There is no line load there. And also even here too. Here will not account for it. So let's go back and account for it. That means this thing should stop here. So I will escape. Then I'll do Ctrl Z to undo. I'll also do Ctrl Z to undo. I'll also do Ctrl Z to undo again. Then I'll come over to my line load, come over to this. Then I'll come over to and insert what, 9.4. So I'm having my line load to be from this point to stop here. Yeah, here is veranda. Then I will escape. Then I'm having another line load from at this point. So it will start from this point to this point. Yes, then it will start again from here to this extreme. Yes, then it will still start again from this point to this point. Yeah, so this is what I'm having. So let's go over to AutoCAD to see the places we're having our line load. Look at it here. Then at this point. Let's also apply it at this point. Then I'm having, let me come over to this point. Then it will also apply from here to, okay, it will stop here. So we are good to go. Then at this point, let me come over to ProtaStructure. Then at this point, we are having line load. This line load move from here and stop at this point. It stop at this grid line. Any grid line that comes from this staircase, it will stop there. Then the next one starts from this point. We'll just start from here, downward. So hope you understand. So let's go and insert it now. Let's go and insert it. Then I'll draw this down. So this thing, it will stop at this one, at this second grid line. This second grid line. Okay, it's from this point, Okay, let's just stop here for now. Let's stop here. Then I'll click from here again and then stop at this point. I'll stop at this point. Then I'll come over to this point. Then I'll start from here, then draw it to this point. Yeah, I'm inserting my load. Please insert your load. Insert this line load. They are necessary. Not they are necessary. They are very, very important. They are very, very important. So under design. Because if you not insert all these inside, your structure is prone to failure and is prone to collapse. So this one now, what will be here is handrail. So I can decide to just use a load magnitude of 1 or even 0.9 because it does not have any high load. So let me just use a load magnitude of, let me just say 1. Yeah, a load magnitude of 1 because handle is not heavy. So I'll apply it from this point to this point. Yes, and also I'll still apply it from this point to this point. Yes, I think we have successfully applied all our line load. So I'll come over to AutoCAD to be sure that I've applied all my line load. So yes, we are through. We are through with everything. Then let's come over to ProtaStructure. So let's go to 3D view and see what we have done so far. Let's go to 3D view and see what we have done so far. So hope you have seen what we have done so far. Here is grass. So you can see apply a line load of 1. Okay, I will come and apply a line load of 1. So look at what we have done so far. The reason why this one is very tiny and this one is like this is because this one is 1 kilonewton per meter square. Why this one is what? Why this one is 9.4? So this one is more than this. So that's why this one is very, very small. So this is what we're having. Here. We will not apply any line load because this is a veranda. Yeah, we don't apply any line load. Then this is what we're having so far. This is what we have achieved so far. I think there should be a wall load there. Let me check in AutoCAD. I think there should be a wall load here. Yeah, there is a wall load. Yeah, we're having a wall load. Here. We're having a wall load here and here. So we're having a wall load here and here. So let's go and insert that wall load. So I'll come over to this point. So is part of the reason why you should cool down and do your detailing. That's the part of the reason why you should cool down and do everything. Okay, I'll just click on this. Let me just escape. Then I'll click on this. Sorry, first of all, you click on one of these. Then this option will appear. Okay, wait. If you click on one, this option will appear. Insert load by dragging. So I'll select this. I want to insert load by dragging. So I want to. I'm moving from. Okay. Yes. Let me escape. I want to insert. Okay. I want to apply line load. So I'll click on. Let me escape. I want to apply line load because it is running on slab. Yeah. The reason why I said let me apply this load on this beam is because before I apply line load on this slab, I have to insert an axis. And because line load will not be, I can't apply any line load on just on just normal slab. I must insert an axis, then apply it on top of that axis. That's the hair. So, but since the length of this video is already much, I just say let me just ignore it and just apply it on this. That's why I say you should get the paid course, because in the paid course, I'm not considering length of the video because I know you paid for it. So I explained everything. So in this case, we'll be using line load and it's still 9.4. So our line load will be from this point to this point. So that's where our line load. So if you see now, we have applied the line load. Let's go to the 3D view so you see it. So you see the line load. So look at it here. So I told you the reason why I not apply it here is because I know I have to start inserting axis, and two, this video have taken too much time. So you can get the paid course. Everything is explained there. So at this point, this is what you're having right now. Then I'll come over to my plan view. Get the CAD file and practice, because if you're able to practice this and understand this, trust me, there's no building that you cannot model. Yeah, because I believe that this is the most complicated building you can see. Yeah. So At this point, we are through with everything concerning this first floor. We will now go over to story two. But before I go over to story two, I'll like to copy this road. So I'll click on this, like click again, click on what? Copy road. I'll click on copy road. I'll like to copy this road. I'll like to copy this road. Then I'll come over to story two. I'll come back to story two. I'll double click on story two. Remember, in story two, it's not everywhere that is having what? Line load. It's not everywhere that is having wall load. Yeah, it's no longer because here now, this is our roof area. All these are our roof area. They are not having any wall load. So I'm having this. So I will click on paste road. I'll click on paste road. So let's go to our 3D view and see what we are having. Let's go to our 3D view and see what we're having. So look at what we're having right now. Hope you are seeing what we're having right now. Yes, yes. Oh, wait. Let me check something. Do we change the depth of this beam? Because this is a roof beam. Oh, we did not change the depth. We did not change the depth. So let's change the depth immediately so that we'll not forget. So that I will not forget. Let's change the depth immediately. So I'll come over and click on this. Okay, I'll double click on story 3. Once I double click on story 3, I'll come over to beam. I'll click on beam. I'll right click on what? RC beam table. RC beam table. I'll click on it. A dialog box will appear. Once this dialog box appear, I'll come to this place H. I'll change it to what? 300, because this the minimum beam depth is what? 300. So this one is no longer carrying any slab. So I'll change it to what? 300. Yes, I'll click on OK. So if you see everywhere I've been changed to 300, I'll do close. So look at it. Yeah, it's not small. So it's not 300. So let's go back to our story 2 and insert our load and insert our wall load. So let's come over to ProtaStructure. Let's come over to AutoCAD to know the places that we are having wall load in this story 2. So it's all just only these places that we're having wall load. This. So let's come and apply it now. Let's apply it now. So I'll come to ProtaStructure. Then anywhere that's having wall load, I'll just be selecting them. I'll just select them. I'll hold my control key. Wall load is here. I'm having wall load at this point. I'm also having wall load at this point. I'm also having wall load. Sorry, let me deselect this. I'm also having wall load at this point. Yeah, this one is also having wall load. Sorry, let me deselect it. I'll deselect it. So this beam now is also having wall load. We again. I'm having wall load at this point. Yes, I'm also having wall load at this point. Yes, I'm also having wall load at this point. Yes, I'm also having wall load at this point. I'm also having wall load at this point. Yes, I'm having wall load at this point. There's no wall load here because this is step, so there's no wall load here. I think I'm also having wall load at this point. Yes, then I'm having wall load here, but I'll use insert load by dragging for this area. Then I think that I'm having wall load at this point, and then I'm having wall load for this veranda. Yes, okay, for this, yeah, on this beam. Then this one, I'll use insert road by dragging. Then I'll come over to this point and click on paste road. It will paste the road. I'll escape. So let's go over to our 3D view. So this is what we're having so far. This is what we have been able, this is what we have achieved so far. This is what we have achieved so far. So I'll come over to my plan view again. Then let me go over to AutoCAD to be sure that what I did is the right thing. Yes. I'm having this line load. So let's check again and be sure. Just check again and be sure. So this is it. This is so this one now. Okay, there's no load here. Yeah, there's no load here. It's true, there's no load here. This one there is a load here, but I'll use insert load by dragging. So click on this, it will appear. I'll click on this. I want to insert load from this point to this point. So look at it, it has been applied. So this is what I'm having right now. So we have modeled this accurately. So I think we have modeled this accurately. Yeah, we are through with our modeling. We are through with our modeling. We are through with everything. Is there? Let me check. Is there any way that we need to apply load? Without okay, here there should be a slab here. Why do we delete this? We did not insert slab here. There should be a slab here. So let's come over to our 3D view. Yeah, there should be a slab here. So I'll double click on this. Once I double click on it, it will appear. So then I'll apply my slab at this point. Yeah, there should be a slab here. Yes. So I'll come over to my 3D view again. I'll come back to my 3D view again. Yeah. Okay, let me move this into story 0. So this is what I'm having so far. This is what I'm having so far. This is what I'm having so far. Hope you are understanding. This is what I'm having so far. This is what I'm having so far. This is what I'm having so far. So I can apply a line load on this beam. Yeah, a line load of 1. So let me come over and apply a line load of 1 kilonewton. So I'll click on this. Then click on line load. At this point, I'll select just one. Yes, I'll select just one. So I'm having a line load from this point to okay. Then escape. Okay, yeah, it's still okay. So I want to have it at the center from this point to this point. Yes, and then I'll have another line load from this point to this point. Yeah, so these are the places we're having line load. Yeah. This I don't think there is a line load here. Let's just shake. Okay, yeah, there is a line load. I'll take it back. I'll okay. No. There is a wall load. Okay, sorry. Is there? there is a load. I'll still apply the line load. So I'll come to my ProtaStructure and still apply a line load from this point to this point. Yes, let me go to 3D view and be sure of what I've done. Let me just go to 3D view and be sure of what I've done. Yes, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, this because this one will terminate here, so there should be a line load at this point. So we are good to go. Okay, we not apply the line load for this. That's the grass road. But let me just leave it. It doesn't mean the road is very small, 1 kilometer, so it really doesn't mean. So I'll just leave it. Then at this point, we are through with our modeling. We are through with our modeling. Then the next thing that we'll be doing now is to edit our story. So I'll come to building setup. Just follow me. I'll come to building setup. Come to story operation, and then come to this edit story. I want to edit my story. Come to edit story. So at this point, what is the height of my story? The height of my story is 3 meters. So I'm okay with what I'm having here. So I'm okay with all these things. Then what is this is the first story bottom level. That's the distance between your soil to this the difference, or the height difference between your soil and your finished floor level. That's where you have placed your concrete or terrazzo or tile. The distance, that's the height between your soil and your finished floor level. So in this case, I'm having it to be what, 4 feet. I'm having it to be 4 feet. So I'll insert it. If you insert it, you see it will appear here. It will appear here 4 feet. Then what is the depth of your foundation? The depth that we got for in the soil report is what, 1,200. So that's the depth that we got. So in this case, height is okay. The level, these are the level. The rabble, we're okay with it. Then come over to this point. Okay, look at imposed load reduction. Imposed load reduction. I will advise you to leave here. Just leave it as default, because imposed load reduction is normally used for high-rise building. Yes, for high-rise building, because you know that in high-rise building, not all the floors will be in use at all time. Yeah, not all the floors will be in use at all times. So we do imply imposed load reduction. Yeah, because if you apply it, that means you'll be able to save cost. So we do apply it, but that one is mainly applied in what, high-rise building. For example, this is a penthouse. Most times people will be in the ground floor, the first floor, and also at that penthouse. So we don't normally apply it in this low-rise building, but we do apply it in what, high-rise building. But don't worry, once we come to high-rise building design, I will really explain this one very more, because we do apply it by percentage. Yeah, but we don't really understand it. So at this point, we are through with everything. I'll click on what, okay. I'll still say okay. Yeah, I'll still say okay. Then at this point, the next thing that I will be doing now is I'll come over to my plan view. Next thing that we'll be doing now is to label our members. Yes, not to label, to label our beam. For example, this is beam 1. This is beam 1. This one is beam 3. This one is beam 22. This one is beam 23. So I want to label this beam correctly, and also label my column correctly, so that doing beam detailing, I can be fast. Yeah, because if you do not label it, doing your beam detailing, it will slow you down. So label it. So at this point, I'll come over to my review. Come over to label members. So I've done for axis before. Okay, I've done for axis before, but if you want, you can still select it. But I've done for it. Okay, let me just select it again. I'll click on this, just select all of them. I'll select all of them. Then I'll come over to this axis and interchange this. And then click on what? Okay. So if you shake now, this is now beam 4, and this is now what? Beam 1. Okay, look at it. Beam 1, and this is beam 2. And if you shake again, this is okay. This is okay, beam 1. This is beam 2. I don't know. Is either this one or okay? Look at it. Beam 3, and beam 3. Then this is now what? Beam 4, and this is what? Beam 5. This is what? Beam 6. This is what? Beam 7. This is what? Beam 8. This is what? Beam 8. This is what? Where is beam 9? Okay, this is what? Beam 9. This is what? Beam 9. This is what? Beam 10. So everything has been labeled accurately and well, so that during your detailing, you not get confused. So right now, let's do building model check. Let's do our building model check. So I'll click on this. Then I'll click on what? Start. Let's check whether we're having any error in our modeling. So let's check. We are not seeing any error so far. We are not seeing any error. So if you see we did an accurate modeling, yeah, I'll click on what? Close. So I'll still advise you, get this 10 days intensive structural design and detailing masterclass. If this video is as good as this, just imagine when I'm telling you that I explained everything in detail, how that video will look like. So I advise you, this is an investment that you never regret in this life. You will never regret it. You want to be a very good structural engineer? Yeah, start now. I know how I got good. I know how I got good by practicing. I know courses that I bought. Yeah, I know courses that I bought that made me good. I also know people that I worked under that also made me good. So if you want to get good in this, please practice, practice, and practice well. Okay, I think that we forgot to apply line load on this ramp. We forgot to apply line load on this ramp. So you can choose to apply it or you can just choose to ignore it. But let me just apply it. Yeah, because I know in my normal modeling, I'm gonna surely apply it. Yeah, like if this is not a YouTube video, I'm gonna surely apply it. So I'll just use one. I'll just use one. So I'll apply from here to here, here. I'm having this. Then from this point to from this point to this point. Yes, I'm having this. So I've applied the line load. So let's go over to our 3D view. So this is what we have achieved so far. This is what we have achieved so far. There's one mistake we made in this roof beam modeling. Yeah, there's one mistake. If you see now, this beam now went straight. It went straight. But let's come to architectural plan. So you see the mistake that I made. Let's come to architectural plan. So if you come to over to architectural plan, this is the roof beam. So if you see this one, it no go straight. It no go straight. Like look at it. It went like this, then offset, then came like this. So that means what we are going to do, we are going to copy this. We are going to copy this enter. I want to move it. So I'll place it in this story 2. So I'll see how it went. So I want to place it at this story 2. I want to place it at this story 2. Don't forget, please place it in staircase position. Place it in staircase position. So at this point, if you are seeing this roof beam now is covering that our cantilever. Yeah, the cantilever that we're having here, it is covering it. So that means I have to insert a grid line here and here to be able to model this beam. I have to insert a grid line. Remember, I told you before you be able to model any beam or column, there must be a grid line here before you be able to model it. So I'll come over to my ProtaStructure. Come over to our ProtaStructure. So if you see, we are not seeing our architectural plan at this 33. Yeah, we are not seeing it. So if you want it to appear here, what you are going to do is that you come over to your building setout, you come to external reference drawing, you come over to number of story, which is 2. You come and click on 3, then click on what? Okay. Click on okay. So if you can see now, it's not appearing at this point. So what we are going to do now, this one we already have we already have a grid here. We already have a grid line here. So the next thing we are going to is just to insert a grid line at this point. So to insert a grid line at this point, what you are going to do is just offset one of the grid line. So I'll click on it, right click. Once I right click, I'll click on offset axis. I will then come and place it here. Then I'll escape, right click again, click on property to turn it into a hidden axis because this axis is not really useful to us. So I'll click on update. So it has been converted to a what? A hidden axis. So next thing is that I will copy the properties of this beam. I'll double click and copy the properties of this beam. Then I'll place a beam from this point to okay. I'll place my cantilever length because this one will be the cantilever carrying this long beam. So first of all, I'll model my cantilever. So this is my cantilever. Yeah, I'll first of all model my cantilever. Then after modeling my cantilever, I'll then model this beam. I'll place it at this point, but it should be in alignment with this grid line. It should be in alignment with this grid line. So what I'll do now is I'll come over to this point. Sorry, not here. I made a mistake. I will escape. Then I'll double click on this again to bring out this property. I'll click on cancel. Then I'll click on this. Once I click on this, I'll click on this point. Let me take it up. So I'll be seeing this update. So I'll click on update. I'll click on okay. First of all, sorry. I'll click here. Then click on what? Update. So it's moving outside. That means this is not the correct boundary condition. I'll select this. Then click on what? Update. Yeah, so this is what we're having now. So we are good to go. Then next thing, some people can ask, why is that we do not apply a roof load? But let me just apply a roof load. Let me just apply a roof load. So you even see that. So in your own, you can equally apply a roof load. So in applying a roof load right now, what I'll do is that I will click on this, like click on what? Edit load. Click on edit load. I'll apply my roof load. Click on continue. I'll apply my roof load as block wall. Yeah, I'll apply it as a block wall. So I'll click on wall load. So once I click on wall load, this will appear. So if you see, it's already 3.47 because of the ones we have applied before. Then at this point, I will not like to use the height of 2700. This is a roof load, so I'll be using a height of 750 or even 700, but I would like to use 700. I'm using a height of 700 because this is a roof load. So I'll click on this point to apply the load. Then I'll come over to this point and click on what? Okay. I'll click on okay. So this is what we're having right now. So the thing what I'll do now is that I'll just come and select all the beams here. I'll click at this point and then hold my shift key to this point. Then I made the mistake. I've not copied the beam. I've not copied the load. So I'll copy it. I'll copy load. I'll click on what? okay. I'll click on what? Okay, so I've copied the whole road. So I'll escape again. Then I'll click on this. Then hold my shift key, select this. Then I'll right click. Once I right click, I'll click on what? Paste road. Paste road. Yeah, I'll paste the whole row. So look at it. I've pasted the whole row. So this is what I'm having. Sorry, since after inserting this, this is no longer necessary. Yeah, this is no longer necessary because this is road bin. So this is no longer necessary. So I'll click on it and delete it. I'll delete it. Not delete road. I'll delete it entirely. Yeah, I'll delete it entirely. I'll delete it entirely because I've inserted this. So I'll delete it entirely. So this is what I'm having right now. Then at this point, I'll come over to my 3D view to see what I've done. I'll come over to my 3D view to see what I've done. Let's wait for it. So this is what we have achieved so far. Yeah, this is what we have achieved so far. Hope you are seeing it. This is what we have achieved so far. Let's look for where's the front elevation. Yeah, sorry, this is the back. This is the back. This is the back. Yeah, this is the front. This is the front elevation. Let me also apply roof load on this. Yeah, let me also apply roof load on all this. So I'll come over to my plan view. Then go to story 2. I'll click on story 2. Then I want to apply a roof load on all this. I will not apply a roof load here because I've already applied a line load. So I will just leave here because I've already applied a line load to it. Then I'll click on this. Then if you are clicking on it, please hold your shift key. Sorry, hold your control key. Hold your control key and select and what? Select. Yes, hold your control key and select all of them. Hold your control key, select and select too. Yes, hold your control key and select everything. So I'll just hold my control key and select and also select. Then I'll deselect this. Yes. Then I will still hold my control key and select this and also select this. Then I'll still hold my control key, select this. I'm trying to apply a roof load. So I'll see hold my control key. Let me just select this. Yeah, let me just select it. Then I'll select this. Then I'll also select this. I'll also select this. I'll also select this. And then I'll also select this. Okay, finally I will select this. Yes, I think we have selected everything. Then I'll click on what? Paste road. I'll click on what? Paste road. I will escape. So let's go back to our 3D view to see what we are having. Yeah, see, we have applied a roof load on all of them. This is what we have achieved so far. But if you still look like here, yeah, this cantilever now, this beam now should pull out just like this. Yeah, it should pull out just like this. So it will cover this. Yeah, this beam should pull out. If you also go to our architectural plan, yeah, you see it here. Look at it. Yeah, look at it. Look at it. And also in story 3, it's still pulled out. So in this story 2, it's still pulled out. So we are still going to pull it out. Then I'll come over to my ProtaStructure. I just want to show you before completing everything. Come out to my ProtaStructure. I'll come to my plan view. Then come over to story 2. I'll double click on story 2. So this is what I'm having. That means this beam, I'll delete this beam. Yeah, I'm going to delete this beam. So I'll click on it. Right click on what? Delete. I'll delete it. Yes. Then I will not insert a new beam. So I'll double click on this beam now. I'll double click on this beam to bring out its property. So we have a beam running from this point to this point. Yeah, then we'll have another beam. Okay, I also select this point. We'll have another beam running from here to here. Then we are going to align this beam now. We are going to align it. So we'll click on this. Then we'll click on what? Update. Yeah, so yeah, everything has been aligned. Then I'll come and delete this. Right click on what? Delete. I'll click on delete. Then I'll double click on this again. Once I double click on it, the east property will appear. Then I'll place a slab here. But if you check, there will be no wall load here. Yeah, this will not carry any wall load. Let's go and check so you see. Yeah, okay, we are having this here. So let me just delete this. So I'll do E, enter. So if you see, we are not having any wall load there. So there's no wall load there. Yeah, there's no wall load there. So I'm coming back. This is it. Sorry, my ProtaStructure. So this is it. So there's no wall load there. So we have modeled this thing perfectly. Then coming over to our 3D view, to our story view. Yeah, this is what we're having right now. So this beam now is now covering this. Me. So in your modeling, please be patient. The reason why I'm a little bit fast in all these things is because this is a YouTube video, and I don't really want this video to be too long. Yeah, I don't want it to be too long. Yeah, so that's why I'm really fast. But if it's a personal drawing now, I will calm down and do everything. Make sure that I have a perfect work.
If you are a structural engineer, this is for you. Most structural engineers are taught plenty of theories in school, but here is the truth. Theory alone don't design a safe structure. You have probably heard, just follow the code and it will work. But get this, even with the code, many engineers still struggle to produce professional structural drawing. That's exactly why I created a 10 days intensive structural design and detailing masterclass to show you step by step how the structural design is done in practice, and this course is designed to last for 10 days. Before I show you what you are going to learn, This is the architectural plan we'll be working with, and we will carry out its structural design and detailing. Day one of this course is all about structural framing, also known as general arrangement drawing. Here, we will master the governing principles in column placement, beam placement, and slab paneling. Day 2 is all about modeling in ProtaStructure, where we will model our architectural plan using the software ProtaStructure. Day 3 is all about analysis and design, where we will analyze the forces acting on each structural members, that is slab, beam, column, and foundation, and then design the reinforcement required to counter those forces. We will also learn interactive design, where we don't just accept what the software suggests but validates it using manual engineering principle. Day 4 is all about foundation detailing. Day 5 will be about path-based footing detailing. Day 6 column detailing. Day 7 beam detailing. Day 8 slab detailing, and you will understand the governing principles in slab reinforcement, that is how to place your top and bottom bars and how to detail a slab section. Day 9 is all about staircase detailing and east sectioning. Day 10 you will learn how to print and present your drawing in a way that looks professional. In this course video, you are going to get the architectural plan we use and also a complete structural design drawing of this architectural plan, and finally you will get a step-by-step video course on structural design and detailing of this architectural plan. For now, I'm giving it out at 80% discount. If you buy it today, you will get it at a discounted rate, and we have bonus packages for the first 100 people only, which includes structural design and detailing template I personally use, structural engineering CV template to help you stand out for any job application, free installation of ProtaStructure and AutoCAD software, and finally access to our online engineering community, where we share engineering tips on daily basis so you stay sharp and never get outdated. But all this is only for the first 100 people to subscribe. Don't miss this chance to close the gap between theory and practice. Click the learn more button and get the course now.